I think we're on. We'll just have a game of Name That Tune, I think, tonight, eh? A wee minute to see. 2 seconds. Two seconds, peeps. The hell am I? Here. So if you're there, Marshall, I'll just send you this, and then if you don't mind just sending it to whoever. It's better. 2 seconds and I'll be with you. Don't know what's going on here. I started sneezing this morning. Don't know if it's a bit of pepper that I get stuck or I've actually got some sort of cold, but you know, I've not stopped sneezing, so you'll need to excuse me if it continues tonight. Got a bit of a nose here as well. What's going on? That's why. As I say, just bear with me 2 seconds, people. Right, so where are we? Who have we got? Before I go into that, see who's in the chat. Actually, there's so many people who have been commenting and sending me messages. I'll probably spend tomorrow afternoon. I'll maybe do a live comment response. Just as I say, just a courtesy to people, you know, and respect for them taking the time to comment and support. I've also got some inbox messages on YouTube that I'm aware of that I'll respond to tomorrow. Just not had time this week at all. But who do we have? Haunted House, how are you doing? We've got are we here? Right, can you hear me, Marshall?
I can now. They've changed the setup for how the Hangout goes live. But yeah, so I'm here now, dude.
My the computer just switched itself off there as if it went into sleep mode and just booted back up again.
Right, well, that's rather surreal, mate. I don't know what's going on there, but we're all good. We're streaming now, mate. My audio is clear. Your audio is clear.
Cool. Well, before I start, I'll go and say hello to the chat. I don't know if anybody heard me before. I don't know what happened there. So Haunted House, we've got them by the ball. Yep. Only truth. One typical heliocentric worshipping globalist thumbs down already. Not even started. Bums twitching, I think. We're talking about the thumbs are 3. The usual, I think it's standard. As soon as you put anything up, there's characters there to thumb it down. But whatever. If they think that's going to affect me emotionally, they've got another thing coming. It's pathetic. Grizz Frank, how you doing? Barbara McGill, how do you? Well, that's I need to check that to see if Nathan Oakley was banned or something. I was messaged about this. Brian Walsh, how you doing? How you doing, Brian? Jamie Brown, how you doing, mate? Magumba, are you alright, bud? Is Richard Elf? Jonah Worms, how are you? Andy Carston, Brian Watson, Pandemonium, King Herring. Anyway, you know, as I say, I'll sit tomorrow and I'll do a comment response. I really appreciate some of the comments that are coming in. As I say, you know, a thanks to Eric Dubai for sharing the street stuff, you know, and promoting that type of activity, which is good to see. So, you know, I really appreciate that, and everybody who's supported it. We have been filming some more, but we've had some technical difficulties with video editing and stuff, but there'll be stuff up soon. We have been doing some footage. So another one's Flat Earth Hub, who has also been doing some street interviews. And from that kind of stuff, I got a couple of extra ideas to use while we were out. So, you know, it's great to see other people, you know, getting out and doing it and putting stuff like that out there. It's really, really good. But it's good to see the support and the enthused people, you know. So, you know, I appreciate it. And as I say, I'll spend tomorrow just being courteous, and I'll respond to everybody's comments on a live thing. But, you know, I'll let people know just now, it's probably just going to be a comment response. So, I mean, you're welcome to join me, whatever you like. So what was I going to say? I was listening to some funny things, a couple of funny things this week. I'm hearing, you know, apparently from some global leaders that you weigh less or more at certain places on Earth. Now, have you ever heard anything so fucking ridiculous in your life? You weigh less or more depending on where you are on Earth. How utterly ludicrous is that? So here's the thing. You know, according to these crazy ballers who believe in mystical energies, if you weigh less or more in certain places, all we all need to do, but none of us need to be poor. All we do is we go to a place, we buy gold, where it weighs, you know, 10 grams, and we'll ask a baller, you know, like some of these people who make these claims, where do we go with the gold so that it weighs more, and we'll just cash it in, and we'll all be laughing. Fucking nonsense. But this is the crap these people come out with. The other one was a guy who, you know, proclaimed to be, you know, against the globe and had designed the flat, you know, how stars may be working, and then reversed himself to, oh no, the stars prove it's a globe. But an interesting thing when I was listening to him, he said, scaled experimentation is one of the truest versions of science, right? So here we have them contradicting themselves. You know, they want to deny these things when it suits them, right? Then you're asking them for, you know, show me on scale how these different things can be possible. Show me a scale model of the globe. They can't achieve it. But when they want to invoke the sky because it suits their fucking religion, they're going to use it. So I thought that was funny. And the weighing less or more wherever you're on Earth is fucking absolute bonkers. These people have lost the plot. So tonight we'll discuss, you know, hopefully Gav, Ali, Marshall's here, whoever else wants to come in. The platform again is open to everybody. I seen there was some people who had commented, you know, how do we get in touch? If you comment in the comment section, you know, and if you've got an email address, then we'll send you the link to come in. You can say what you want. So we encourage everybody to do that. But, you know, hopefully Gav and Ali will be here, Marshall as well, John, hopefully. And we'll have a wee discussion about the video that went up earlier on. I'm not sure if anybody had seen that, but again, it's to do with words and understanding what words are, you know, and how we understand this subject. The video earlier was about, you know, people using the word debate, because, you know, you don't debate the objective truth. You don't debate the objective world. And they go about continuing to try and invoke a debate when we know that it's not a debate. It's simple. We're the measurable proofs, and that's it. When you're seeing debates happening, understand that these, you know, there might be some innocent people, but I think the majority of them create this distraction, you know, because natural science, you do not debate. You know, that's for theology classes and religions and stuff, not for exploring the real world. How are you, Marshall? You all right?
Fair to middling, dude. Bit of a busy day again, mate, as you know. Dragging gremlins out of the pipe work, which we've had all week, but we seem to be on top of it now.
Nice one. Anything happening in the chat?
No, people just settling in, dude. We got Fly Sky So he's been looking at Venus in the sky tonight, and it's 18.26 degrees from his viewpoint, and it should be at 90. But I'm not entirely sure on that. I think we need somebody who's
Well, there's a whole study I think needs to be done with these stars, especially as I said before, this rotation thing. I've started looking a wee bit, but I need to get into it more as soon as I get time. There's obviously contradictions left, right, and centre with what's getting said and claimed. So I think there's a wee bit of digging before we're going to get to the bottom of that. But again, going back to it, there's issues when we go to altitude about no seeing stars. If I'm in this, I can only see this patch of sky. I can't see miles to my left, right, or straight in front of me about what's up in the sky. I can only see what's directly above me, at a certain degree. So there's loads of varying factors with the sky observations that obviously needs to be understood. But again, it's never going to give us any measurable proof for the shape of Earth we're upon. But nonetheless, it's intriguing, and I'm as intrigued by anybody else, about what the stars actually are these celestial bodies. So, pandemonium, chem flu, Dale. Aye, you're probably right. As I say, I started sneezing this morning, and I was eating a salt and pepper roll. So I'm not sure if I got a bit of pepper up my nose and it's just lay there, and I've been sneezing all day, or I've got something. But I can hear noise. Who do we have?
Me.
Ali, how are you, mate?
How you doing, mate?
You all right?
I sound. I just caught some of the video. I'm a bit loud, or I'm okay.
No, you're all right.
All right. Yeah, I just watched some of that video. It kind of was quite funny because I spent I spent the day reading a book called The Domain of Natural Science, and it was just exactly what you were talking about to observe it, or how a theory's a concept to the mind. It's not really, it can only be a small part of it. You can only describe a certain bit, and it's just a concept. It's not a real
tangible
thing. Yeah, it's not got quantity or nothing. So it's like saying that you can only observe things in a finite time, an observable time. But no matter how big the finite time is, you can only observe it in that. So to extrapolate anything out with what's been observed, you can't do it. So
that's the difference, between what's subjective and what's objective. As I said earlier on, we can all agree that Ben Lomond exists, that it's there, it's tangible, it's measurable, it is actually there. People start debating then because of their subjective. Oh, how did it get here? Who created it? All these things start to come into play, but there's got to be a separation of that. We're only interested in establishing what the actual objective reality is. No interpreting anybody's subjective experience of that.
Yeah, it was like I was reading today in that book. It explained about the different models, the polemic. What's his name? Ptolemy. His ideal that it was circular, right? But his ideal, it was observed from the Earth. Imagined from the Earth, a person standing on the planet, or the Earth, or whatever. I better stop using that word. The Earth, it's observed there. But when Copernicus came up, and it wasn't in the middle, he didn't, and he actually explained the retrograde motions. How the planets go backwards. He actually explained them. So he had a theory on them. So he had the whole model, but observed from Earth. And when Copernicus, he had to imagine from the sun's point of view. So he actually done his his imaginary laboratory and zoomed himself off to the sun and observed it from there, but not in the centre. That's where he got all the circles. The orbits weren't orbiting perfectly around the sun. They were they were closer. They had the perigee and the apogee, so they came closer instead of being the same distance apart all the way around. But he basically, and that's when they actually changed. So it was actually based on a perception that you couldn't actually experience, whereas Ptolemy's theory was based on the Earth, standing here on a touchable place, but observing. But it's still abstract, but it's a lot, it's got a foundation on, an actual observation from the place, not an imaginary place. So
these books and these supposed guys, whatever, they came for a time. Nowadays we have technology, great technology in terms of transport and equipment. We don't have to have these abstract concepts and theories and hypotheses. We can actually just go and explore it now. We have that capability. And that's that just reminds me to declare this right away, just to clear it up for people about this platform. On this platform, the title's Flat Earth. Here, to what I've always stated clearly to people, I've never represented any map model, and I don't think anybody should be. It's fine if people are working on them, and trying to be creative and come up with certain aspects. But for me, the full exploration has to be done in order to falsify or verify any of it. So here, it's mostly about, rubbishing the claim that we live on a globe, and highlighting the nonsense with that, and then declaring that I know the possibilities of where we can be based on water, and what that can entail as regards to the possibilities of where we're living. So there is no claim to any map and model here on this platform. It's purely the globe is a lie. That's the claim we were all born into.
100%.
That's been rubbished, and now we're in a position where we don't know where we are. So we have to take the steps forward in order to find that out. If we keep running about, running in circles with ideologies and theories, and nothing's going to change. It's more likely that people are going to be fed some other bollocks, some new globe, where I'm determined that that's not going to happen. So for me, it's important that people are thinking critically, and that's part of what we'll be working on, is to give people the tools so that nobody can tell lies. Anything that's regarding the public arena and objective truths, if we have this language, there's no lying with anybody. So, sorry.
No, that's fine. That's brilliant. Because then you can communicate and you can ask the questions that scientists don't like asking. Logic. Based on a way to express yourself, and communicate, and say, express why you have the right to ask that question, because they say, you don't have the right to ask that question. You've got Brian Cox, deGrasse Tyson, and Alan Guth. They've got this perception of themselves that they're basically just high priests, because we're only listening to their perception of things, and that's illogical to listen to. They're flawed in their actual logic, the way that they're observing things. They're taking things into account. They're taking, untouchable things, unreal things that they've never actually touched, and just making hypotheses out of them and theories, and
twisted everything. They spent a lot of time getting us into look at the sky, and investing in spheres and circles and all that nonsense. But we live here, and this is the whole point. You'll hear them saying that, I just rubbish evidence and I rubbish. I don't rubbish it. But when we're getting right to the root of stuff, I need to know what it is I'm actually observing up there. I need to know what it's made of and where it actually is. Otherwise, I don't know what I'm observing. Right? It's fucking pointless. And again, I say to them, explain the logic and then provide the measurable proof that they get from, observing the sky for the shape of Earth that you're upon. It's as simple as that. I was honest with myself. I went, look at the sky. But if you're thinking rationally and logically, you quickly understand, look, that's never going to give me an answer to the shape of where I'm, and I had to just move on for that and forget about it, until somebody can, provide something that's tangible. But we spoke about that before. They idolised mathematicians, and put them up there as celebrities. And guys like Brian Cox and Neil deGrasse Tyson have shown how illogical and fucking stupid they are.
Well, they're actors, though.
Because it is
Richard Dawkins. Richard Dawkins has got he's got an actual acting card.
The thing about it is most of the guys, especially Dawkins, that they're materialists. They're already starting for a religious an assumption. And then, we have to start from that and then try and prove all that based on that premise or that assumption. It's nonsense. That's not what objective truth and objective science is about. It's let's just discover and no rule anything out. But they've been so strong, and especially in the last 10 years, by trying to put that spin on it, you know, that they have
Exactly.
it impact, and you know, there's no
Well,
question.
they put it into a bubble, like, you know, it's like they're only describing the mass when there's more to mass than what they're describing. If you know what I mean, they've put themselves in a, you know, taking away the, what should we say, the forces that are not seen, like magnetism or whatever, that kind of stuff. They took it out of chemistry. A guy Webster, he came up with it's chemiosmotic coupling, and it was how electricity travelled through the neurons, right? He done it in the 70s, and he got ridiculed for it. And after he died, he got the Nobel Prize for it. Now it's an accepted theory, but he got ridiculed as a crackpot because it didn't fit in with the rest of the theories. They would have had to re-establish theories, but now they've fitted, you know, they've fitted that theory into, you know, they're just basically fitting new theories in to prop up old ones, like relativity, special relativity. It's all fantasy in the head, and that thing for the tools for truth and the Socratic method is so that we can, construct our questions properly to ask the right questions, kind of thing. You know, if you know what I mean. And that'll get, and the more people that do that, they'll feel more confident because they'll have a bigger language, and they won't feel intimidated by just because a guy's got letters after his name.
It's keeping it simple for people, and it is very simple natural science, you know, and all claims that are being made to you has to be empirical, you know. They'll say, oh, well, you know, you can't see electricity, you know, but there's an application for electricity. It is usable. We can experience it. You know, they come out with these ridiculous attempted rebuttals, you know, to try and, you know, give weight to imaginary fucking nonsense.
Yeah, and that's all it is, imaginary.
Aye, you know, we breathe air, we can't see it, but, you know, we're breathing it, we're experiencing it. You know, so
No, we don't.
we know it's up there, you know.
What's air? Where does it come from?
That's the thing. That's what I've always been about. It's just trying to simplify, because it is simple.
It is, right? It should be.
And show people, just you know, you have the power. You know, don't accept any of these bollocks. Don't accept their stories, and understand their sophisticated arguments. You know, and how they're playing on your senses, and you know, it's just all trickery. And that's the point. You know, as I say, I keep saying, you know, I hear people talk about measuring with lasers and all this stuff. You know, water's more accurate than the laser. We know the place is covered in water. It's the best leveling tool. It's leveling itself to something, the level plane. Everything starts for the level, right? You know, nothing's going to work. Sorry, I forgot what I was going to say there.
Yeah, well, I've been working with it. I've been working with water most of my working life anyway, you know, with levels and plumb lines and stuff like that. I've been, you know what I mean? And then you come along and tell me we're on a ball. You know, it was something I never even thought about, because it wasn't. It's like Gavin says, we should attend to these. That means we should actually question or look at them, these things, like the scientists. We should attend to actually what they're telling us. And once you find out the language with us, to you know, mind your language, introducing like a vocabulary of, so that we understand what the words mean in their context. You know, it's like learning the law, you know, words in the law, you know, like, for example, that understand, everybody knows that, to stand under, you know, agree, basically to sign a verbal contract or however. But it's actually understanding the language, then you'll see it's you know, you'll be like, this is ridiculous what they're saying. It's just because most people can't understand what they're actually telling us.
I think it's more complicated than it actually is. I remember my train of thought there. Regarding the water, you know, I understand that, you know, I accept it as part of my reality, and it's a great measuring tool. The place is covered in it. So they keep continuing to bring up the images and NASA and these institutions, and, you know, I've got to say it clearly, it doesn't matter how many images they try and produce or videos they try and produce. We already know these physical aspects of reality. So if their images don't match the reality, then they're fucking lying.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a matter of understanding the methods of how they're lying and how they're producing their fucking movies and their ISS nonsense, you know.
Well, they're just confusing us with their dictionary, with the words that they use. That's all. And once people, as I say, understand the language that they're using, they can they'll say that their eyes will be open, they'll be on a different level at all, you know, a totally different level. And all these idiots, they'll actually see them. These people, we had a good laugh. I don't want to mention any names, but we had a few crackers off somebody there, just the total illogical arguments that they came up with, and observations and stuff like that. But people start seeing that as it is, like it's, you know, I mean, it's total insane, like what you're saying. They're trying to, you know, go on about to scale. You know, you can't scale down like up in the sky what you see up in the sky. That's only a guesswork. It's an yeah, exactly. You scale something down that you don't know what the measurement distance is, and they can bounce lasers here and there, but that's still an abstract. It's still not a touch. If you don't touch it, you can't measure it. You can.
That's the thing. You know, I listened to that character talking about that scaling and it being, you know, one of the tools of science. So you're going, right, well, we live on Earth. We're not living in the sky. So scale your globe. You know, show us the globe. You know, we can't have a floating globe. You know, that's the response you're getting back from you. Go, well, it's not fucking scientific then.
Yeah.
You know, it's just you using, you know, wanting to keep your imagination going. But these people, you know, it's total dishonesty. You know, at the end of the day, you know, as we're speaking about, we'll obviously speak about a wee bit more. We have these tangible things in reality that we actually live amongst. That, you know, and I always use the word because for me it is the greatest measuring tool we have. It's the great leveler. You know? So, I'm not going to ignore that for anybody's images or somebody trying to play on optics. You know, ships and straight in front of you disappearing.
Oh yeah, that's stupid.
Really, when you look at it, they have absolutely nothing. And get back to what you were saying, mate. That's it. If people understand logic and reasoning and what the real core of science is, understand the subdivisions, natural, formal, social, the different aspects of that. Once you get that in, and you've got that on board, then, you know, these people coming to you with these crazy arguments, you'll be able to destroy them.
Yeah, and plus the people that are learning at the same time, because I'm learning as well. I learned a lot with Gavin, which I've got to thank him very much for the hospitality. Him and his family and friends showed me. Brilliant, man. You know, nice. So big thank out to him and his wife. She turned me into a vegan. So that's it now. Yeah, well. So, but I have to say, I'm learning all the time as well how, you know, be able to think more critically. You know, I always thought I did, but you don't realise how you can always learn, no matter how much you think. You're actually using logic. You can always learn more. Sorry, mate. On you go. Right. And once people come along, you know, hopefully in the chat and stuff like that, or people that watch this platform, hopefully they'll come along for the ride as well and grow intellectually and more critically thinking, give them more confidence to be able to talk about subjects, because once you know the language, it's quite easy to decipher what they're saying. It's only a matter of just deciphering what these people are telling you. And as I say, the more language that, go on, you go, I'll finish.
It's not just about, you know, learning the language in order to speak to these so-called academics. It also helps in social circles as well, you know, in every aspect of your life. I mean, how we can discuss and articulate things to each other, you know, and using that language, as I say, you can start to see through the bollocks and the lies and the manipulations very, very easily. You know, for me, where I am, you know, it's very easy to see through it. You know, and once you get it, that's it. You know, there's no going back, and you can still learn from that. But when you've got the basic tools, you know, you'll progress a lot quicker, and we'll all progress together a lot quicker.
And the thing that gets me, Dells, see, there's some people at this stage that we're at know it's a load of shit, but they're still propagating the lie. They're still pretending to be others, and that's where intellectual dishonesty. I mean, you get accused of it. You get accused of it all the time, just because you say, "I don't know." Well, actually, that's a stance. You don't fucking know, and I don't fucking know. That's a stance. If that's not that's logically a stance. You know, whether you believe that, it doesn't matter. I don't know. That's not a belief. You know yourself, so it's a fact.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's a fact. I do not know. It's only stance to have, right?
Yeah, you know, the root of science needs to be there, or you're never going to progress. I'm not going to get anywhere by proclaiming that you know things that you don't fucking know. You know? So when
there's Gav, sorry. No.
I'm intellectually, sorry, 2 seconds. When they say that I'm intellectually dishonest, you know, as you were saying about saying,
Yep.
I don't know. That's the most honest stance to be in. And if they were honest with themselves, they would be saying the exact same thing. Because none of us know. If we knew and it was all proven, then we wouldn't be here.
Exactly.
Right? That's the point. So how do we progress from here? Do we just keep throwing more subjective shit at each other and get in circles? Or do we sort it out and actually have progression for our sakes, for our children's sakes, for everybody's sake that wants justice, peace, happiness, discovery, you know, all these things.
Yes, human nature,
If we really
man.
want that, if we really want that, we need to dig in and understand what the fuck is going on and
Yeah.
stop playing fucking games. The games that they want is that are the emotional games. The lower level and is thinking and acting from emotional impulse rather than logically and critically analysing things. You know, it doesn't mean we don't have emotion. You know, I'm logical and critical, but you know, I'm a big kid with my kids, and I love them and I express them. You know, but people try and twist it. You just want to be a machine and think logically. No, I've got the ability to know where things need to be applied, where
That's it.
my emotions are applied and where my logic needs to be applied, and it's a matter of categorising and sorting your fucking mind out, not just running about in circles. It doesn't need to be like that. You know? So, sorry, Gaff, how you doing, mate?
He's muted himself. Come on.
I'm good. Didn't want to interrupt the flow there.
That's all right. I want to thank you. Can I thank you personally now again? I probably did, you and Inca and the family and your mates and that and your brothers. And thanks very much for the wonderful time I just spent with you.
Ah, you're welcome, man. Anytime.
And my daughter's up for it as well, so.
Yeah, come down and visit us.
Ah, but she's vegan now. I've promised to feed her, so.
Now
One
that you,
more for the team.
now that you had a bacon sandwich, it was the bacon sandwich that you needed, wasn't it?
I posted that on Facebook, and all the people in my family were slagging me off. I said, well, you've not tried our vegan bacon sandwich yet. So. Anyway, back to the seriousness. I just want to say thanks very much anyway. So, cool.
No, thanks.
Good man.
But I didn't want to interrupt your flow. I heard it, so you know, absolutely 100%, man. You know, can't express it better myself. Yeah.
Yeah. So, just about separating and understanding the different aspects in it. You know, you can file your mind and apply yourself where it needs to be applied.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has that discernment, you know. It's the thing, you know. It's just the people lost in their wee worlds that you know, of whatever it is, images and ideas and theories, and you know, they need to come back to understanding reality. That's what we need to do. So it's the wake up. It's happening though, huh? I mean, you see it all around the place, you know. There's maybe people that don't even talk about it necessarily, but you know, we've said it before. Everybody knows something's wrong. Everybody's asking questions. If there were answers there already, then the questions wouldn't exist anymore, right? So you know, the very fact that we're all asking these questions 1,500 years later, or however long it has been, just goes to show you that the answers haven't been fucking given, you know. So you know, and people need to learn to keep asking questions and don't let them get away with telling fibs, you know. And telling deceits and lies, you know, and they need to, as you say, you know, or as we've talked about many a time, they need to understand at the basic level, at the very bottom level, what's happening with them, you know, how their mind works, you know, how they get played on, you know, what their senses are, what a perception is, you know, and how that all ties into the way people measure things, you know, because measuring has to do with, you know, tangible or visible objects that people have to you know, they have to quantify, right? And if people don't understand how that's being done and how that's manipulated, you know, then you know they're never going to understand. You can tell them any old shite, then, do you know what I mean? Which is what they do, yeah. And you know, I see the same fear as you do, that you know all these distractions, you know, with celebrities or you know, dare I say it, conferences, you know, all these things, you know, are not helping the people actually understand and be critical, yeah. Because if we don't do that, it's going to happen again. There'll be another fairy story. Christ, if we don't stop teaching and telling our kids fairy stories in their beds, yeah, then we're never going to change it. You know, we're part of the problem, yeah. So people need to wake up to that and do something about it, you know.
That's it. It's not just, as I said it from the beginning, I don't want the same old fucking social aspects carrying over onto this.
Oh, fuck that.
Celebrities and, you know, all these celebrities preaching to the choir and, you know, and just keeping everybody in this spin, you know, rather than trying to, you know, educate them and give them the tools that they require, so that we're not idolising and following people and, you know, all this crazy behaviour. And I'm hearing this shit that oh, well, natural science, what is your definition of natural science? It's not my definition. What we are saying here is no us, it's the tools that we all need to agree upon in order for us to experience the objective world, in order for us to progress. It's not my idea or Gav's idea, but these are actual tools that work and we can apply,
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's what the people need to be able to do themselves, We'll kind of know that, it's working when everybody's got their own YouTube channel doing the same things and showing their natural, repeatable, observable science, yeah? And starting to talk fucking sense and not just a whole lot of pish, then we'll know it's worked, Dale,
we see the same bollocks being regurgitated over and over. And at the same time, people can be their personality or who they are, as long as they're fucking cutting through the bullshit. Yep. I'm happy with that.
Absolutely. Nobody's got all the answers, I mean, that's part of exactly what we are saying, The more questions we ask, the more we'll discover, the more knowledge we'll get. The more we listen to some person telling us what the answer is, the less we'll fucking know, yeah? And the less your kids will know. And the rest, and it won't fucking change, so...
You want, if you've got private or different sectors and different aspects, you want them in a position where they would be terrified to even try and come out with a lie because they know people are so critical that they're just going to be hounded for it. So if people have the tools, if people want to represent us in government or politics or whatever positions they're in, they would know the rules of the game then, and it's our fucking rules, and they're not even going to get a chance to get away with it, so they'll not even try it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's like the emperor has no clothes kind of thing. People start seeing that it's all fantasy. What these scientists are telling us. So
the Kaiser is naked, definitely.
The Kaiser is naked.
The important thing though is, if you remember the story, it's the little kid that speaks up, and that's wakes all the fucking adults up, But if we put our kids to sleep, by letting the same bullshit happen, then there won't be a little kid to stand up and tell the truth that he's fucking in the bum. Yeah.
Yeah, we need some mothers there. We need some mothers out there.
Right.
Like you said,
Yeah. Well, that's it. And if we can just highlight the aspects of the lie and show that to people, then hopefully that's enough to make people get pissed off. Because if they're telling one lie, if I can go to NASA or whatever and discover one lie, then I don't trust them with anything. It's as simple as that. And I heard that this week as well. What if you're wrong? How daft are you going to look if you're wrong? Well, I'm no wrong because I trust reality. I trust what I can actually measure and test here. The place is covered in water. So people saying, what if you're wrong? NASA might try and produce images or videos, but if it's a spherical ball, I know they're talking shite. Because reality tells me that it's no a spherical ball. So it doesn't matter what images they're going to come up with. It's not going to work. It's done.
And that's just the perception of someone else. That's just a story made up by someone else. It's telling you that anyway. So it's not real. It's just their perception of it. Their experiment, or if they look through a telescope, it's only their perception.
Yeah, well, you're supposed to believe in space and the void and the emptiness and the nothingness, and you're supposed to believe all that, because then they can sell you, the space balls, or they can sell you the micro, quarks, that are also, there's more space down there apparently than there are quarks, but your table's still solid and you can sit on it, So,
well, they're measuring. Sorry,
it's the same. I'm just saying it's the void and the emptiness, and that's also a bad negative, how should I say, attitude and culture to breed, because it's it's all about denying stuff, instead of looking at it with natural eyes and enjoying the life, because let's face it, we can't get to enjoy it because of the deceit. Yeah,
that's right.
We're being blocked in every aspect from exploration. That natural aspect that we all had, that every kid is born with, it's about killing that, and making sure that doesn't have a chance to grow. As far as I'm concerned,
they've knocked us out of sync with nature, with the natural order of things. Nature's not really consistent or constant or anything. Things are changing all the time. So they've knocked us out of sync with that through words, television, everything. So it's quite hard to sort of break free. from that kind of way of thinking, that kind of that way of thinking, and therefore that's why we're in such a state. But as Gavin says, if we talk to our kids, teach our kids that the Kaiser has no clothes, I think it'll all go well.
And don't let them take your kids, and tell them stuff, because all this, whole trend about having them earlier and earlier in state education, you just, the kindergarten, like growing little children,
we've got them.
It's also part basically of making sure that they're listening to the right things, they're getting the right answers at an early age, and for fuck's sake, don't ask any questions, because otherwise we'll have to lie to you again,
I told my kids, don't be frightened of putting your hand up, if you've got a question you're not quite sure about, put your hand up or stand up and demand, well, not demand, but ask a question. Don't be frightened, no, what is it, I don't know, that guy, somebody quoted as saying, there's never a stupid question, there's just a stupid answer, or something like that. There's never a stupid question. Every question is relevant.
It's a sad state when the kids are actually like that, where they are scared to ask, rather than being instilled with confidence.
Exactly.
To be articulate and how to be a critical thinker. I'm just not teaching them that. We know that.
They'd rather play games. Yeah, they'd rather play video games and I don't know, just talk stuff. I mean, in all fairness to being young and all that, there's a great phrase: youth is wasted on the young, which you only really understand when you're older.
That's right.
And sometimes I wish I could shake the fuckers, and tell them to wake up, and see more of it, because we're also a bit responsible for the fact that they are as they are,
I was going to say when you say that we should
also that breaks my heart, to see kids just denying reality, not knowing where they are, and being sucked into all that celebrity bullshit,
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, I've had a problem with mine, so.
It's just sad to see, but we're responsible.
As parents, we're responsible, and as all parents, we're responsible to at least maybe not force things upon them, but at least get them to question, why. Remind them there's always two sides to look at, and you take the third side and observe the two sides that are being discussed, and then you can come up with your own decision off of the two. You can't, but otherwise you can't take either side. You have to observe the two sides.
Go and look for yourself. Yeah, exactly.
And observe the two, because everything is, for one, there's another kind of thing. So,
well, if we're talking about abstract things and subjectives, then there's always going to be two sides. But as I said before, the objective world, there isn't two sides. It is just one side. So,
nature, there's two sides, though. Male and female. Growth and death. It's kind of, I know it's an abstract, but we can observe that happening. So, but as you say, it is. We want objective reality, but we see duality all the time. So I kind of look at it that way.
Well, that's again, that natural science and social science. Social science is about the aspects of life and subjective experience and all these different things. Whereas this subject, about the world and where we're living, is an objective thing. There is only one truth to that. But you can, as you say, there's duality when you get into the social aspects of stuff.
Yep, that's right.
Again, it also depends a bit on how you look at it. I mean, it's a natural law that you're born and you die, right? Like it has a start and a finish. You get a ticket when you come, and the ticket is that you snuff it, yeah, or at least as far as we can tell, yeah. You can say that that's a natural law, right? And it's not really duality as far as I'm concerned. That is the law, and that's the one objective truth. It's got a start and a finish. And,
because of that subject of life itself.
Yeah. So I mean,
part of it,
it's again how you word it and what your perception is. So I don't see it as a duality at all, Ali. But I understand what you're saying. Yeah, and maybe it's not the best example, but
no, it wasn't. Because I don't fucking agree with you. You're right.
You don't need to, man.
Go and read the Cavalli. You told me I did. Or some people have said that anyway. Not pointing any noses.
We started into mind stuff there, and that is where you're going to have debates and different ideas, you know, about who we are, why we're conscious, and all that stuff. But you know, but as I say, we all experience one reality. You know, there is an objective reality there.
Yep, the Earth is flat.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it? And until someone can show me the mechanism that and I'll keep going on about this, the inertial navigation system, the gyroscopes, if someone shows me the mechanism that makes that bend with a curve and not remain perpendicular, well, I'll say the Earth is fucking, you'll get me closer to it. But as far as I'm concerned, end of story. Water as well, if you want to say water, but you know, that's just up for debate kind of thing. There's a mechanical device, man-made, to show something, right? Yeah, they can't argue with it. They've made it, so they have to stand by it. If it doesn't move and there's no mechanism to do it in an attitude indicator in an airplane, if there's no mechanism to hold that there, well, the fucking Earth is flat. End of story. The natural side is water. There's the mechanical side. You've got the two. Do what you like with it. Go and study anybody that doesn't agree with me. Go and see what a gyroscope is, and that'll tell you, right?
You could try and build a curved gyroscope, you know, like a bendy one, you know. Maybe that would give you some quantum.
Yeah, only in an imaginary laboratory. You can,
well,
right?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Obviously.
On the sun.
And if we compare a sack of hammers with a bag of feathers, then we actually might get somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's absurd, isn't it, man? So that's that. So what else has been happening, Gavin? I've just watched. I got to watch. I told you I just watched about the first 10 minutes of the video. It was good. You butting in there, Dale, and you know, pausing. That was quite a good way to do it. You know, with the video you've just put up.
Yeah, talking about debate.
Yeah, but also when Gavin was giving the presentation, he was actually stopping and critiquing, you know, explaining, or not explaining it, but just, you know, giving your observations of just what Gavin said and then letting it go on again. It's quite actually a good way to...
Try to make...
I enjoyed that, Dale. You made a dull presentation very good. Thanks for that, man.
I didn't even want to say that, right?
Come on, you can be hard with me, you know. Tell me the way it is, guy.
No, it was brilliant. No, but I'm saying it was a great idea. Whoever came up with that idea, spot on to these guys, you know. And well done for the effort and cool.
Well,
really. I recommend you know, watch it after the platform's finished right now.
People need to realise that there is people making an effort and putting their own time into this thing. You offer people these tools. You know, Gav, Ali, everybody, John, me. You know, we spend our own money. I'm spending money to go and travel to these street interviews. You know, we're committed to really finding out the truth about where we live. So, you know, I hope that shows through to people and encourages people to do the same and support that kind of action. You know, rather than sitting here trying to milk money out of people and whatever else and perpetuate the fucking nonsense that's going on in people's minds. So aye, but that, you know, it wasn't for that. You know, it's trying to, the video we're talking about, it's just trying to break it down simply all the time for people and to try and, you know, show them in different ways what we're speaking about, just to try and add a different dimension into it. Because some people can get it on a level where they can just take it. Other people like analogies and imagery, and you know, there's different.
Well, that's what we're used to. We've been programmed to accept, and so you know, it's a language we've been kind of forced upon us. You know, imagine or stuff like that. You know, taking it off. Sorry,
we need to get it down to the basic level, though. You know, and as you said, Dale, it's about, you know, obviously getting this information out there and make it understandable and appealable to everybody, right? You know, to all people, yeah. And that can be difficult depending on what background or what, you know, expertise you have, you know. So I think it's good to, you know, have those different slants on it or different angles on it, so that, you know, hopefully everybody sees the common ground that we're on, yeah. Because I might be here as well from, you know, the perspective of, you know, okay, I've got background in mathematics and physics, but at the same time, what I'm really standing in here for is, you know, the common sense of everybody, huh? And you know, that's what every scientist needs to do as well, yeah? Or every teacher, huh? Or every academic, or, you know, bureaucrat, huh? They need to start asking, parents as well, yeah? They need to start asking themselves, you know, exactly that. Why am I doing this? And what's the common ground that we're all standing on, you know? So, yeah, I hope it helps folk, and I definitely like the different perspectives. Sorry,
No,
Al.
that was good. No, that was good. That was good. That, you know, it's important we also get the, as you termed it, the dry stuff. You know, the science, the pure. So nobody can, you know, no mathematician can debate it or debunk it. And if they do, you're well equipped. You know, your brain's well equipped to handle it. Just, you know, because of your qualifications, your training. You know, you're reading whatever books you've read or whatever. You know, it's come from you've kind of got the whole lot going there. So plus, you know, coming from the common angle as well, that people can understand it. So I think it's great. I think it's a brilliant.
That is the important one that every professional needs to come forward with, you know, and identify, first of all, this common ground, and then, you know, instead of losing themselves in their own little branches of, you know, compartmentalized science, because, you know, that's where they want us running down these warrens, chasing Alice,
Yeah, and that's it. You hear a lot of this. Oh, you deny science when you deny the globe. The globe is no science. What we're talking about is real science. You know.
Well, they don't even get past first base. You know. I mean, sorry, when you look at the actual, you know, logical proposition behind what they're telling us, you know, you can't have a discussion with somebody if they're going to bring in something or assume something in their proof that you deny, right? So, you know, if I deny space, then nobody can possibly come and say, oh, I went to space and I took these pictures and I'm proving it that there's a space and a ball. Yeah. I mean, it's a complete logical fallacy, you know, to begin with, you know. And so, you know, if these people think they can come, at least to me, and argue like that, here, why don't you believe my images? Then, you know, as far as I'm concerned, they haven't got past first base, you know, to use the American phrase.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Why would I believe your images when I can observe the world that I'm living in and it tells me something totally different from your images? Yeah. You know? So there's a problem there. And that common ground is what, you know, I've always been shouting for. Do we agree that there's an objective reality? First of all, you know, do we all agree that there is an objective reality? I am sure most people will agree, you know, unless somebody wants to claim there isn't an objective reality. You know, and then, you know, we need to understand the...
Bring him on.
I want to meet him, aye.
Well, he obviously needs friends to look after him, you know. and I hope he's got family that never leaves him alone. You know?
Is he bringing his tablets that makes him see it that way?
So get him here. He needs a friend.
Yeah, we'll welcome anybody here at all. It's a platform for the people beyond the imaginary curve. So there you are. Always welcome. Even the disillusioned.
Even them with cognitive Disney. Everybody with cognitive Disney is welcome. Yeah.
So,
yeah, we'll help them.
If they can come here and they can agree that we're talking about the objective reality and they're not focusing on persons, you know, and then we can agree, okay, if we're discussing the objective reality, we're discussing it in terms of natural science, you know, and then, you know, we agree, you know, they need to agree on these principles or we're not going to get here. You know?
No, then they can fuck off otherwise. Because I've got no time anymore for them.
I watched the Lawrence Krauss thing. Here's a classic. That ended up getting a headache because I had to sit and listen to him for 2 hours, 20 minutes. But anyway, he was on about time. He was trying to explain how, you know, time contracts and stuff like that. And he had a ruler.
Well, you need the rods. Yeah, the rods need to contract as well, though. You know.
No, but what he was saying, that when he moves, right, this ruler that he's holding is, say, it's 10 centimeters long to him, right. Now, if you're observing him moving, it'll appear 8 centimeters long, shorter. Now that's where perspective we were talking about. They're playing about with this shit, you know what I mean? And how the fuck it's still, you know, it's still 8. If he hands that back over to you, if he goes away, travels at 100 miles an hour, comes back round and gives it back to you, it's still 10 centimeters long. So all the time it was 10 centimeters long, and now what they've done is they're just fucking, they're just talking shite, man.
They're just playing with your head, man.
It gets shorter. That's it. Yeah, exactly. And it's stupid. It's ridiculous. The more people watch these idiots, man, and going back to this Socratic method and, you know, learning these words and stuff like that and watching it, it's ridiculous. You know, once people start actually watching these, you know,
And once you understand that they're talking about theoretical and hypothetical,
it's not real, man.
Oh, that's what I keep saying to people. Break down every aspect of the claims that they're making, and then look for measurable proof on every aspect of the claims that they're making. And there's fucking nothing. You know?
Like, he
Well,
talks
there's pink
about,
unicorns. There's pink unicorns there.
how about this one? How about this one then? Here's another one I'll share you. If everybody's, if anybody knows about LIGO, it's this thing out in the desert somewhere. It's to measure gravitational waves, right? Now, what they reckon is when this is true, this right? It's a concrete. It's a concrete structure, right? And it's got a laser beam going off at each end, and it's getting timed, you know, time. And they reckon that when a gravitational wave hits it, the actual building itself will contract. Right? A physical object will contract because of the gravitational wave of time. And now they've measured it. Right? They've measured it now, and they've found this is what they see. This is what they're trying to. This is big in the science thing. There's loads of lectures going on about this gravitational wave that they've found, and this theory based on Einstein's relativity thing. I mean, so they're telling us now that because a gravitational wave blasted through this tunnel, it squashed it. So it actually sprung back and forward. It physically moved. Now, I've built a lot of buildings, and I don't think I've ever seen one sort of squash and move.
Unless it's got dodgy foundations.
Unless it's got dodgy foundations. But I did never ever participated in building one of them. So
a jelly house.
If anybody says that I have, it's not true, right?
You must have been using a globe level or something like that.
A bendy. Oh, I had a conversation with this. 1 second, I'll finish quickly. This Danish guy, he's a builder. And I goes to him, I was talking about, well, you know, you're a builder, you use a spirit level. He goes, yeah. He says, but I've also got a curved spirit level. I said to him, Bell, I said, yeah, the glass is bent like that, but the water's still in the middle. And he just looks at me and goes, oh, you're right. He didn't realise he was saying it wasn't the actual spirit level. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, he's about 28 or something. I thought, oh my God, man. You know what I mean?
Remember
this is
when
a builder. This is a builder, man.
Remember when they used to send the apprentice off to go and get a bubble for a spirit level? Yeah,
that's it.
Or go and get some tartan paint, you know?
That's it. Sky hooks and that.
It's just like that.
My favourite was sparks for the grinder. I need a ton of sparks for the angle grinder.
Off to the store. Traipsing off to the store for a bucket of sparks for the grinder.
Joe, how you doing, bud? You all right? Joe, you all right, mate?
Hello there, how you doing?
How's it going, man?
Hey,
Yeah,
Joe, I
very
don't
well,
think I've met
thanks.
you before.
Yeah, we met last week.
Aye, but I wasn't on there for long, like, so.
Well, long enough, we got to meet.
Aye, right, well, that was, yeah, good to see you back.
Absolutely, good to see you guys back.
Hi, man.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Excellent. Yeah, still on that journey, guys.
Good stuff. You enjoying it?
Oh, absolutely. It's so liberating. I can't even express it.
Yeah, where
Yeah,
else
isn't
is it to go, eh?
Right.
The South
Exactly.
Pole, man.
It certainly isn't going upwards, that's for sure.
There is no up or down. Sorry, tell me.
Yeah, right.
So,
Yeah, looking forward to your street stuff, Del.
cool. I think we're just having some technical difficulties just now, so hopefully sorted soon, mate.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Listen, I just want to point out, if you ever need any design, I'm an artist and designer. If you need any design stuff, just give me a shout, okay? Any website related stuff, anything at all. All right?
Oh, thanks very much. Cool, huh?
Yeah, all of you. You know.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
That's what it's about, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
cooperating. Yeah,
Got to use our talents, haven't we, guys?
yeah, that's it.
Mate. I say, I've all said that we can use the same tools that they've used to put people in ignorance. You know, there's nothing wrong with using these tools. At the end of the day, we're trying to empower people.
Exactly.
Not to put them in a place of disempowerment. So there's a difference. TV is not evil. The TV is not inherently evil. It's just what it's being used for. And you could say
Yeah, exactly.
whatever your definition of evil is, but for putting people in ignorance, I would say.
Yeah.
That's what it's being used for, but it doesn't need to be used for that. It could be used to empower us and for us to communicate properly. So
That's right.
evil or bad, So
It's not the tool; it's how it's being used.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's it. So if they know people are susceptible to entertainment or taking it in an artistic form or whatever form that they're susceptible to, then we need to employ these things and use them if we want to get truth,
Yeah. I mean, I've been this week, to be honest with you guys, this week I've been racking my brains trying to find some idea, some hook, some angle that I can potentially put out there that's going to get the message out there further and wider, and I do have a couple of ideas. I'm not going to bring them up tonight because I haven't fine-tuned it yet, but as individuals we can combine and try and get this message out there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about cooperation in it for it's just to help people on their journey, and the more people there is, the more the less intimidated people will be in taking it. They won't feel such alone or or nothing like that kind of thing. So it's all good.
I'm not happy unless people are getting empowered. I'm not in this to press or gain anything for anybody apart from the empowerment. You know what I mean? So that's the way.
Your intent. It's all about. I talk to Marshall a lot about this. It's about your intent. If your intent's pure, it's all good. It's all good if it's from the heart. And it's and that's all it is. It's not any of that hippie shit stuff. It's just it's
that's right.
It's part of being logical and using both sides. Your critical thought plus your emotion or your conscience or your heart or whatever you want to call it.
We don't need to be insecure about each other. It's time for people to start getting secure with themselves and stop all this fear nonsense. Everybody's got their place and participation in this. It's this platform especially is not about personalities and who's going to be a celebrity and who's better than the next person. Fuck all that.
Exactly. I agree. Yeah. It's not about one individual. It's about the strength of the message.
That's it.
And it doesn't matter who's telling it or whatever. You can usually, and what you were talking about earlier on, Del. It's not about personalities or anything like that, or your clothes, or where you are, or what where you get your money from, or anything at all like that. It's about the message, and it doesn't matter. It's the content of what the person's given, not what they look like.
No, that's it. But
that's schoolgirl, not schoolgirl. That's bike shed mentality. That's fucking Jeremy Kyle, the Sun newspaper, all that kind of shit, childish backstabbing, and just because you've got nothing decent to say, you've got to just say something bad.
Yeah, people are so insecure. That's the problem.
Well, exactly. They're just insecure. Yeah, that's it. That's it, and it manifests in their words and their vocabulary, and you can just see right through it. And. We'll sort it out.
I think that'll disappear, when people come to the realization, and
naturally as well,
themselves that they don't know, if they get to that stage where they're questioning their beliefs, where they're discarding their beliefs, where they're really, thinking hard about, what the fuck it is they're actually doing, then they'll question all these other things for themselves. They'll dismantle their whole, whatever it is they have for an existence. I mean, we all have it, right? But everybody will dismantle that in their own way, So as long as they keep questioning it, they'll question everything.
That's it. And as long as they don't know where they are, it's a delusion they're living anyway. So it's better that they break it, and then we start finding out exactly where we are, and then your life's not an illusion or a delusion. With something that's rooted in truth, because you know where you are.
Well,
just accept that you don't know. Just accept that you don't know where you are. And that's start from there, start afresh, because they've had, it's just so obvious. It's like hundreds and hundreds of years are just, rubbish. Rubbish. They've been talking. I mean, it's absolutely rubbish.
Just crash the computer and don't put your backup back in place. Yeah. Just do a reboot,
That's exactly. Just reboots. Start from the beginning. We're not losing anything. There's nothing to be frightened of. It's quite an easy transition, and just accept that, right, we don't know where we live, and if people want to find out, that's good. But if people don't, that's good as well. But as long as you just admit that you don't know.
But as long as the ones that don't want anyone to try to get in the road at people.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's it, right? Yeah, they don't enforce. Yeah,
Everybody's got a right to exist as far as I'm concerned, but you know, don't be imposing on.
that's it.
So
That's it. Of course, man. You shouldn't. That's one of the laws or whatever. Existence, I suppose. You shouldn't be able to impose your will upon another man.
no.
No.
Well,
Morally, even
Yeah.
morally, logically, or whatever, you've no right. You've not.
No.
Nobody has given you the badge of honor or says that you. Who told you you are better than me? Bring him forth
That's right.
and let's see his credentials.
That's
You know
it.
what I mean? You know, and it's all about that. We're all equal. We're all born equal. We're just the
That's
same. Nobody in a uniform means they're better or they've got a stethoscope around their neck. Their words hold any more, credence than
No.
someone sat in a corner looking for some money for a beer or whatever.
That's
So
it.
that's kind of. And that'll just, when people start sort of looking at it that way, they'll kind of maybe, move on and get a bit stronger and with what they're saying, and beliefs, believe in themselves, have the belief in themselves, kind of thing. So,
Well, you just need to be empowered, mate. You know, that's what the whole thing's about. You know, everybody's got their individuality and their personality, but we need to just let each other exist and be at peace with that and have a common goal, which is the objective truth. You know, as I say there. Sorry, mate.
No, I was just agreeing.
Aye, that's it. You know, and breaking it down. You know, it's been a repetition for nearly 2 years of this.
It's good pedagogy, Dale. Don't worry.
yeah, it'll come to fruition. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, but people are getting it though, Dale. People are getting it, so it's been worth it. Good for you for sticking around for so long and keeping this platform alive.
But again,
That's
it's not me, and that's the thing that I've seen them try to bring this week. That it's my way. You just want it. It's not my way.
No.
What I'm talking about and what we're talking about here is the tools and what we're talking. The objective tools and the objective questions. There only is one way for that. And there's many people now coming to an agreement on that. And that's the standard that it has to meet, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not going to accept anything unless it's like that.
Yeah, but the point I was making is you kept it open. You kept this platform open. I was like, I just kind of got to see it just before Christmas there. So, and if you hadn't have kept it open, I wouldn't be here talking. I wouldn't have met Gavin. I wouldn't have met you. I wouldn't have met Marshall or John or Joe or these people that are just, people that have got something to say, important to say.
That's it.
Valuable to say, in my opinion. I'm growing and I'm learning, so nothing wrong with that.
You see, it's the same with everything. If something's trending and people get involved in it just for them and for egotistical reasons, and you see that as time goes on. So I was determined just to keep it that way, and prove it by opening it up and offering it to everybody, because that's the way it should be.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, all these people are just trying to perpetuate their wee piece of the pie, without, because it's all I see is these videos of, oh, look at them, they'll be lying to you, dramatic music. I'm not watching videos where they're going, oh, right, they'll be lying to you, and then, but this is how they done it. This is the methods and this is the tools. It's just, let's just keep throwing. There's a mystical force that's, while they've got the dramatic music playing in the fucking background.
It's the Jesuits, it's whoever.
It might be very artistic, but it doesn't really progress anything. Do you know what I mean?
And they're just using the same tools that they brainwash people through the television as well. So, all that, just so it's like
the same media getting recycled.
Yeah, that's
and to be honest, they're irrelevant now. As far as I'm concerned, they're absolutely irrelevant. Because there's a growing body of people, which is looking at it in a different, absolutely different angle, coming back to the basics, having a common goal, and understanding what we have in common, and and that's the only way that we can progress in natural science or in any knowledge at all that we think we have.
Yeah, and I've noticed all the shit is clinging together there. There's a load of the trolls and stuff like that. All the shit is sort of kind of coming together, making alliances. It's like when I get my comedy, that kind of cheers me up. When I'm feeling a bit down, I just go and listen to some specific hangouts and telling you, I'm bouncing for the rest of the day, mate. 5 minutes of that, and I'm so glad my intellect's just a little bit higher, kind of thing, you know. Not wanting to say anything, but it's all good. It's all good.
There might be people who don't, you might not get it into any level, but if you're going to have groups or people, you know, like representing science, it's going to be based on these things and these principles that we're trying to push out there, and it should never
Exactly.
So if people don't want to get into it because they don't, you know, at least understand enough to know that there's people who want to push the real truth and have that there as your representative, rather than these fucking crackpots and
they are fun. They really are.
It needs to be set out like that again, so that, you know, as we spoke about earlier, and as Gav says, so that they don't lie again. You know, people are not going to be susceptible to another bullshit. You know.
Yeah.
Oh, you can bet your arse that they've got a few planned, right? I mean, there's a never-ending supply of science fiction for us, right? You know, so you know, and you know, no disrespect to anybody creative, but you know, if it is a creation, of the mind, then you know it's the human mind's brilliant. You know, I mean, there's so many things that we can tell stories about. Yeah, so you can bet your arse that they've got one lined up. You know, and we need, that's the thing I think we need to watch out for. You know, because I don't necessarily believe this whole flat Earth is just a complete random coincidence. You know,
right? Did you notice that they are talking about the latest one? Right, I just know I got I seen there in the newspaper. The ISS live feed shut down because alien UFOs. I thought, oh, here we go. There's the alien fucking the crew going to go out there and say, the aliens are coming. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. They do this on purpose. They're doing this on purpose. You know, just to keep these what do you call it? These conspiracy theories alive, man. That's basically what they're doing with that.
Distraction.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, the box has got to keep you in that box, hasn't it?
Exactly. There you are. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like sitting in Plato's cave, isn't it? Watching the fire and the shadows in the wall. You know, I mean, it's no fucking different. You know.
Well, that's it. They're all hypnotized, staring, you know, while real life's behind them, or actually, well, it's not. It's right in front of them, but you know what I mean. But people are just no opening up. But they are slowly but surely. Yeah. So,
yeah. But talking about the box, did you guys pick up that thing that came out? Was it today or yesterday about the CNN with that? Someone had put Google. What is it? Google research flat Earth on the grass there, or on the hill or something.
Yeah, I caught that.
Was that a crop circle?
No, it was someone had literally dug out the words flat Earth, and CNN had picked up on it. So, you know, that's the first taste of the mainstream media, you know, just tapping into it.
Yeah, they're going to try and take it over. You know, if they already, well, they're already got their paws in it, but I think they're going to try and direct the story in a certain way, because it's going to come out eventually, but they're just preparing the ground to direct it in a certain way.
It'll be on EastEnders or whatever your favourite, you know,
your
favourite bullshit.
Kyle, man.
Big Brother, yeah.
Ah, yeah. Well, that's what they do. They co-opt it, right? You know, it's like, I know, you know, it's right out there, Art of Working or Machiavelli. You know, it's like a Machiavellian tactic. They're co-opting the actual, or try to, you know. And if you're not in a, you know, allied with anybody, or you've no chance of getting captured by it. You've no chance.
Yeah, they'll try. I mean, they'll try the same old stuff. They'll bring celebrities out. You know, whatever UK's top flat earther against, you know, the top glober or baller or whatever you want to call them. They'll try and make a pantomime out of it. Yeah, a bread and circus. You know,
stupid. You know, belittle it. You know.
Well, they already have been from the beginning with the pushing of the maps and the models and calling it a
exactly. It's a continuation of that.
That's the predictive programming coming up for the biggie. There'll be a biggie, maybe even this year, because they're starting getting worried. You know, you can tell if you just observe what's actually happening, especially on YouTube and stuff like that, with certain things happening, and you know, they're definitely getting worried. Sorry. No, maybe it's not me. But yeah, I've got an echo.
No, I'm all right.
Go on.
One sec. Oh, it's probably them spying on us again. But there's definitely a movement going on.
Well, I'm also of the opinion that whether the news is negative or positive, it's still news. You know. So even if someone's watching a television program and they hear flat Earth,
No, sorry. There's huge echo happening. Somebody's got your YouTube on or something.
hang on. Right, is that better?
Yeah.
Sorry guys, that was me. Bloody hell.
Okay, it wasn't me then. I switched myself off, but it wasn't me, right?
That's still there.
No, it is.
It is me. It is me.
Has somebody got YouTube on a speaker or something? I don't know.
I'm muted, dude.
No.
It's gone now.
Well, we got a break though. Timmy's asking for a link. I think he can wait, can't he?
What, Timmy for the same old regurgitated passion so he can get himself a bit of fucking notoriety? What for? Does he agree with what we're talking about? Is he going to come in agreement? Is he going to come in with his fucking bollocks, usual stuff?
Well, yeah. I think he can go to the back of the queue for a minute, dude, after his recent behaviour.
Aye, this guy's had plenty of opportunity and he does nothing but make slanderous fucking videos, illogical nonsense, and then wants to come in and act like he's a fucking a stand-up guy that wants to have discussion with intelligent people. Start acting like a fucking intelligent person and then stop your fucking crap. You might get a bit of respect.
I don't know who this person is.
Oh, he's just a fucking troll.
Oh, okay.
He's been about for a while. He's one of these characters that's I'm saving people. I just do it in my spare time. Yeah, they're there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
And they just slag everybody off.
Like we don't know what they're up to. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but he's just in for an argument and stuff like that.
Well, it's the portrayal all the time. Trying to portray you in a certain way. It's manipulative tactics. These types of characters are using manipulation and trying to focus on the characters, know what we're actually saying, and then twisting what you're saying just to suit them.
Yeah.
They don't come in for logical discussion with respect and manners. They come in with an agenda that they're coming in with a belief. We don't have any beliefs here. We're not representing any models. We question purely the model that was put to us as we all were born into. And we have honestly looked at this model, honestly, and found no fucking proof of it. Okay?
None.
We found images from an institution who are found to be lying continually, right? So, unless they accept that and stop slandering, they can fuck off. I'm not going to get any attention or respect from me anywhere.
No, that's exactly well said. Well said. Just get them to fuck. We're not interested because, as I say, they'll just have these people. They just have hangouts together and just slag you off. So you're as well giving them something to talk about. Tell them to get to fuck the wankers. Sorry.
They continue to talk about your person and they continue to try and call it cult and cults and all that stuff. They're just fucking assholes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
None of these are in cults. If the truth, looking for the truth is a cult, then I am in a fucking cult.
Yeah, me too, mate.
But I'm not here with a belief that I live on a fucking pizza dish with a dome over the top of it, or any of these fucking things, right? So, these people just don't have a place anymore. So unless they can up their game and step up to the mark and have a bit of intelligence, they're not going to get anywhere here. They've had plenty of opportunity. The history's there for guys like Timmy. It's there. He's been on about 3 times, right? One time he sniped the hangout, shut it down, took over it, so he's got access to be able to do that, right?
Right.
That type of character. That's what we're talking about.
I think it's also very important, if we can, guys, at some point as well, is try really hard to engage the younger generation. For example, I was in a chat with Jamie Brown. I don't know if he's in the chat right now. Wonderful young guy, really, really clued up, And it was just nice because I was speaking to him and I was speaking to another chap on there. He calls himself Shadow, but he's 17 years old and he's literally just come into the flat earth reality. So yeah, people like this, you know, if we can engage them, because I really believe the younger generation is going to do a lot for this. It's going to, you know, because they're a lot louder than our generation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's simple to trigger them, you know, see it in the street interviews and the ones that, you know, have done that have not been uploaded. Even some of the most brainwashed or deep into it, you know, you get some of them having the realisation where they're tripping themselves up on the spot. You know, there's a couple of moments like that, and there was some younger people, and you know, the common sense aspects that they grasped quickly. You know,
right. Listen, sorry, Del, I'm going to have to shoot off again.
All right, Alec.
Yeah. Well, thanks once again for the chat. Brilliant. Well done, guy. And we'll keep it up. See you later, Joe. Teen.
Cheers,
Gavin. See you later, matey. And yeah, I'll speak to you tomorrow or something. I think we're going to meet up tomorrow at some point. So.
No problem.
Yep. All right, dude. I'll see you later. Have a good one.
Cheers.
Right,
Cheers,
bye
buddy.
to everybody in the chat. Oh, can I just say one thing? If anybody wants to see them videos by Rory Cooper, the guy that made the flat Earth, you know the views, you know my perspective. Right, there's a guy I just found there. It's DD Tayside. He's downloaded them all. So and I think they're quite good. They're just observation, no theories. Just so I think they're probably I found they helped me a lot anyway in understanding. So. All right, I just have to say that, and to Rocky Vibrations who offer services. All right, see you later.
See ya.
So Ali, getting that feedback. Is it gone? That's gone. It must be you, Gav.
It must be. I'm trying to fix it, honest.
You troublemaker.
I saw the youth. I don't think it's a problem. You know, I've seen it even with my kids. You know, you talk common sense to them.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
They feel it, they sense it, they know that you're talking common sense. You're no bullshitting them, and they can verify it then for themselves. And once they do that, they go, "Of course." You know, it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
But
and they're not as scared to speak out as well. Do you know what I mean? Because we, as adults, well, I'm 46, and I just haven't got the same tenacity that I had when I was in my early 20s. Do you know what I mean? It's different dynamic.
Well, we all came from different backgrounds. There was different dynamics, especially in our youth. So obviously, to what I see now, you know, they're much more open with each other, and you know, they've access to the internet and different information that we never had. We were, you know, buried deeper into the culture of the programme and bullying and all different aspects of stuff that was going on. So, you know, they're much freer nowadays to just speak their mind and say what they want. You know. Exactly.
That's right.
They don't think twice about getting on camera and just putting it out there. You know, they're constantly on Twitter or whatever it is, and Snapchat and all these crazy things. So,
exactly. That's right.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, it's just about finding different techniques, different people, different ways to get this message out there. You know, ultimately, that's what this is all about, is getting that message out there.
That's it. And putting the tools there for people, so people don't need to try and emulate me or how I went out in the street. They can use their own personality using their tools and go out and affect people and do it in their own way, you know?
Exactly.
It's not about just emulating each other or, you know, trying to be each other. You know, just use the tools and go and be you, you know?
Yeah. Exactly.
Back to it, you know, the culty stuff, you know. The truth's not a cult. You know, empowering people is not a cult. You know,
no.
Trying to keep people under an illusion and a spell is culty behaviour, especially with zero proof and you're regurgitating the same stuff for years. You know,
that's right. Exactly. It's for us guys, it's about unlearning what we've learned, then, isn't it?
Yeah. As Gav says, you know, wipe the slate clean and don't boot up with the backup, you know.
Yeah.
It's liberating and it's a great feeling, you know. I remember that feeling clearly and I still feel it now. You know, there's more to understand. There's more to discover here. You know,
Oh.
that feels right. You know, rather than, oh, I'm on this nature-defying fucking sphere, and everything's discovered, and we're just a mystery, and it's all bewilderment. You know.
Yeah.
I don't feel as if I always wondered why we were in bewilderment, why everything was so confusing. So it just shouldn't be that, you know. But
Yeah.
like they want to keep you in that, oh, it's a big mystery and we might never know, and oh, this stuff, fuck off. You know,
That's it.
if I'm looking and think that I should know and I'm asking these questions, then there's probably something for me to know.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Got to question everything. Question everything.
Yeah.
And by the way, there was no plug for me. That was just genuinely what I believe. You know, we've reached a critical point where, like you just said, Del, you know, things are just, it's purposely complicated, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, and
You know?
bewildering.
Yeah.
Anything to keep you in perpetual confusion, because that's where the problems are coming, you know. Chaos is fine, but confusion's fucking destructive, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
And that's it. You know, if we can remove that confusion, then it's fine. And they've done that. You know, they've removed the grounding from people. Obviously, you know, that's how they've done it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it is question everything and accept nothing on hearsay.
No.
You know? I keep using that analogy. I always use that analogy, but you know, it's the truth for me. If you've got a group of people on, you know, islands, a group of islands, and you fed them their culture, told them about where they live, you know, gave them all the literature. Every book that they have is something that you've gave to them concerning, you know, telling them about where they live and keeping them in that. Then they discover that where you're telling them they live is not true.
Yeah.
So what did they do? Did they go back to these books and all this stuff that they've had from that?
Well,
Or did they just actually go, no, let's ditch all that, start afresh, and let's go and find out exactly what's going on here? Before we start claiming to know what life's about, spiritually, physically, any of these fucking aspects, they all come later. First, we need to establish where are we, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we can start to look at these things. But you know, there's got to be a step for that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we were saying it the other week, weren't we, Del? That, you know, at the end of the day, you can discuss domes and shapes all you bloody like. All this kind of thing can come much later once we've established the core facts. You know, we can explore afterwards.
That's it.
You know.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I'm back. I hope my audio's better now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice one.
Nice one. Right, and that's it. And the core facts are, you know, what they're telling us is found to be wanting. The natural world's telling us the possibilities of where we are, but we don't know where we are, and we need the exploration to figure that out. And that's it. We don't know who we are, why we're here, where we are, none of that stuff. And anybody telling you that they do know is talking utter shite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Complete bollocks. Pish.
Yeah.
So that's what, you know, people think, you know, I don't entertain spirituality and all these things, but I go, you know, it's just not important right now for me. It might be for other people, but in order for me to get a step closer to understanding, you know, who I am, why we're here, I need to find exactly where I am first, and that'll probably bring me a bit closer, you know?
Yeah. And also, in terms of exploration, we've got to be realistic and know that, you know, there's no way government's going to allow us to explore the South Pole. They're not going to allow us to go to the areas to find out the facts. Yeah. So what do? All we can do is take this message out to a point where governments have to admit the reality, and then we almost have to work backwards.
Yeah.
You know, because they're not going to allow us to move forwards.
Yeah, that's it. And once you've got people who are part of the militaries and stuff, then you're asking real people to, you know, lie.
Yeah.
You know, right now they don't know because they don't realise that there is a lie. You know, but once they become aware of it, you know, these are the same people who always said that. These are the people who are operating all this machinery. You know,
they can stop it.
Aye. And use it to your benefit and your advantage to empower us. You know? And that's what they're meant to be there to represent. So they should be held to that. You know?
Yeah.
Same as everybody in a position of representing the people. You know, they should be held accountable and held to empirical facts and truths, you know, and never be allowed to wander for it.
Absolutely. I mean, at
So
the end
Dale,
of the day,
give us
they've
a sneak.
taken... No, sorry, on you go.
I was going to say that Dale, give us a sneak preview, if you like, of the kind of interactions he's had on the street this week.
It was a good wee mix. Say we got a couple of academics off. That's what they were, and
Okay.
we get a good variation. Some older people, a couple of younger people. So it was with everything in between, you know.
Awesome.
And a couple of, you know, we got a wee surprise as well. So, you know, probably be in the video. I don't want to say too much about it, but
No.
but it was a good venue. You know, I was thinking about that. You know, people are talking about get-togethers and conferences and all this stuff. You know, and people again. You know, I'm not here to slag people. You know, I can only be me and stand up and walk my walk, and people are free to be what they want. But you know, I was thinking about a gathering. Where we were was like the Science Centre in a BBC building. You know, there's a great gathering point for people. If you want to go and make a noise and be heard and try and get on the media or whatever, you know, peacefully, you know, gathering points like that. Like an idea, maybe we'll look at in the future, but that was interesting. It was interesting.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Well, one thing I'm going to do this week, I said, we talked last week, Dale, about the fact that wouldn't it be amazing if Nikon, the company, the camera company, if they tapped into this. I mean, I'm actually going to send them an email on Monday, a big long ass email, and I'm going to put the suggestion to them. I know it may sound nuts. They may look at it and go, "Oh, shut your face, you idiot." But I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to just see what happens with.
Sorry, you broke up there, mate.
Yeah, I was just saying, I want to send them an email and suggest the flat Earth.
Yeah.
And get them to see what they say about it.
See if they respond. Go for it, mate.
Aye, good idea, man. Go for it.
Well, they're making enough money, aren't they? They're making enough money off the back of the flat, aren't they?
That's it. You know?
About time they showed some real support, right? Gave everybody a free camera.
Yeah. Even better.
Advertise it. Did you know you can bring a boat back over the horizon with this?
Exactly.
It's got a super bend bit to it.
Prove the flat Earth for yourself. Yeah.
That's it.
You can see beyond the curves.
Well, I don't know. There might be some mileage in that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Well, you know, if anybody with a brain, if they're looking at that, you know, and they're greedy and they want to make money to capitalise on it, they'll know that, you know, it's nearly time.
They'll jump ship as soon as they can see a buck. We'll have the Red Bull level water experiment soon. I mean, they'll go either way, right? As long as they all have a shareholder value, yeah, increases.
That's it. What's the saying? Money talks, bullshit walks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Guys, sorry, excuse me. I just need to go and grab myself a drink. It'll be 2 seconds.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
Man.
go for it.
What was the single biggest thing then for you when you hit the flat Earth? What was the proof or the thing that woke you up the most?
It's got to be the water conforming to a ball, mate.
Yeah,
it's
a cracker, isn't it?
Yeah, it's got to be. It's got to be. That's got to be the biggest red light in all of this, or the biggest bright light, if you like. You know.
Yeah, a flashing one.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
And it's not even just the fact that you know, obviously it covers a large part of the Earth we're in, by everybody's admission. But I mean, it's also absolutely life-giving, yeah. I mean, you're made of water yourself. Huh? The plants are made of water. I mean, the stuff is everywhere, right? So if you deny that, then you're a complete fool.
Well, this is it. It's denial is the big issue here. It really is. And listen, I'll say it again. Do you understand how some people are finding this hard to accept? I can understand it.
Absolutely,
You know.
me too. We all went through it. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So I have all the empathy in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is why I think we got to be careful how we approach people. You know, you can't come at someone and call them stupid just because they haven't accepted it yet. I mean, there was a point we didn't. You know.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
all
I think
the-
it's just a matter about, making sure people understand that they are being fooled. Huh? So I'm not calling somebody a fool necessarily. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not the way I wanted to come across. But
Sure.
wake up that they are being fooled. That's the thing that they need to understand, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
people don't even realize it, as you say. And as soon as they do, then it's a horrible experience for them. Yeah. Then there needs to be people around them, to be honest. Otherwise, you can go a bit nuts or go down the wrong path or get easily distracted. So you need friends.
That's it. But they knew that as well. People would clump together in groups, and then they can play that. With putting certain characters in certain places, and that's went on over the last couple of years as well. Aye.
They knew how we'd react and what we'd need. Aye, definitely.
Yeah.
And we just need to discard that and find the real friends, or the real people with at least the same common agreement and common principles about where we're starting and where we're going, or what we're aiming for.
Yeah, that's it. They talk about us. They forget that we believed the same as everybody else, that we lived on a spinning ball.
That's it.
They talk about intellectual dishonesty and this kind of stuff. You go, well, wait a minute. We've went for a lifetime of believing something to actually looking at proof and going, no, I'm going to get through this emotional turmoil and process to break that, because I'm so dedicated to knowing about the truth and the objective truth. So that takes great strength and great courage to do that.
It does.
Like these people who just cling desperately to what they were always told, and repeat and regurgitate the same old tired nonsense.
Yeah.
So don't let them.
And it is emotionally draining. I mean, we're all different characters and different people, and we accept and deal with things differently. I certainly know the path I went down in a space of 2 months. I mean, I was Jekyll and Hyde for 2 months, guys. On this subject, I was losing my mind almost. I'm not trying to exaggerate. I'm just trying to say that emotionally, it's pretty draining. But at the end, you've got to stick at it and come out the other end and go, okay, I have to fully accept this now.
Yeah, that's the struggle, because that's the pull. They make it like you decided to, or you wanted to just believe this. I was committed to truth, in that when you're committed, you get through the cognitive dissonance, you get through that process. Some people get it in different levels and for a different period of time, but we went through it. So that, for me, that shows commitment to knowing and understanding the truth.
God, yeah.
Don't let them play it off that, you're just some crazy crackpot that decided, it would be great fun to start saying the Earth's not a globe and that it's flat. I mean, fucking, does anybody really fucking believe that shite?
Well,
no, nobody does.
But they try and push it like that, with their manipulative crap.
But they're getting more and more irrelevant, I mean, they are, I know they are for us, and they're getting it for everybody else too, People are seeing through the bullshit, Absolutely.
The sooner they accept it.
It's a done deal. It's a done deal.
Yeah.
We just need to, as you say, I like to, waking up the kids, or not waking them up's the wrong word, because I've also met a lot of, young people who are just as inquisitive as we are and are asking themselves the same questions. And if you talk to them about it, they're very open as well, But I think that the lure in youth is to, be distracted easily by a lot of things, and life is a wonderful thing, at that age,
That's it. Look at the amount of generations that are here right now, where people have that opportunity. Their kids aren't in the government programming centres yet, schools. You have that opportunity now. You start, instilling it in them and getting them to question and don't accept the schools and the teachers pushing this shit onto them.
Right.
No?
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with other people. How should I say, teaching my kids good stuff, right? If all the teachers and the educational institutes and the agendas that they're pushing were changed, to fit a common sense format that went forward and everybody agreed upon, but not this way. I mean, there's no fucking way, man.
No.
Guys, can we do a quick test? How many people in the chat right now is under the age of 25? I'm really curious to find that out, actually.
Yeah. I think there's a great variation. Yeah. And that's my experience anyway.
Right.
And I've seen a lot of channels now, a lot of older people, and I've seen a lot of younger people as well. So it's spread.
Everybody and their granny knows still.
again, I had an experience the other night. Last night, actually, Magumba was there. He can verify this. And there was another friend who came along last night that we've not seen for a while. And he said that he'd been talking to a guy, somebody that I don't know. And it ended up coming up about, conspiracies, and he's going to the flat earth, and it turns out the guy knew about this channel and, knew what we spoke about and stuff. So for them to say that it's no gone anywhere, I keep seeing, I'm witnessing this coming from different parts of our society, my surroundings here. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
It's getting there. It's getting about. There's more people that know about it than we realise.
Still getting the feedback from chat, dude. We've got a broad spectrum from early 20s right the way through. So if that's an answer for you. But fairly good spread though, dude, on the ages.
Right, okay. No, I just like to say, I was just curious specifically, any, from 25 and under.
That would be the smallest end of the demographic, but
yeah, I know, yeah.
But that's only the respondents, dude. That's not necessarily the whole audience.
Sure. Yeah.
But thanks, peeps, for the feedback, man.
Yeah, thanks, guys. So Vortex Puppy, sorry, what's your actual name, mate?
My name's Gavin.
Gav. All right, sorry, Gav.
But there seems to be a widespread age. Sorry, 2 seconds.
Well, the good thing is that everybody, it doesn't matter what their age, has the same experience, right? It's a kind of difficult thing to refute that we don't have it in common, so...
yeah.
Oh, unless you're an alien, of course, or you're transhumanized yourself, or whatever it is they call it nowadays. Yeah. So all ages, right? All welcome, all the same.
Oh, totally.
I've been having great conversations with my mum about it, and elder relatives of the family, and they're just as easily, how should I say, they're just as easily fooled as we all were, right? But
right.
At the same time, they're also just as easily awakened, It's what do I mean awakened? I'm making it sound as if we have all the answers. We don't, but awakened and at least to see the same absurdities, the same contradictions, and start to question the same things that we're questioning, So and it's really good to see that at any age,
And that's the thing, that's all we're doing. We're asking questions.
Yep.
And if anybody's trying to discourage that, then be wary of them,
Yeah.
They're not to be trusted. And that's the whole point of the videos today and what we've been doing. It's about a discussion. We can only have discussion with each other.
Absolutely. For me, when that with the replies to the flat earth reality, the most frustrating here is, what does it matter?
Yeah.
It's got to be the single most frustrating reply to anything. You have to stand back and go, oh my God, it matters. Everything matters. That is it. That is the point here.
Right? Of course it is. It's like, well, what does it matter if you're blindfolded and I fling you in a tennis court and tell you to play hockey? It doesn't matter, does it?
No, that's right.
It matters, what are we playing? What game are we playing here? We don't even know where we are. So any of the games we're playing are founded on nothing.
That's it.
So
yeah, go and stand in the round corner. Right? You're too stupid.
Yeah. that's just the Scottish humour, you know. That's just the way we deal with it and laugh at it, you know.
Yeah.
So there are these kind of different types of people, you know, the ones that kind of intellectually or logically can think about it, as you said, and can see that there's something wrong, but then they come out with that kind of totally disconnected, unsentient, completely unnatural response about what does it matter, you know? And you're like that, well, you know, you are part of matter, you know? You are the matter, my man, you know? So, you know, you better, you know, connect to that fucking thing and see, you know, the absurdity of doing nothing. I mean, for me, that's, I just can't get over it sometimes when people have that attitude. But I understand everybody's got a job to do and, you know, and a life to live and all their commitments. But that attitude, I don't understand it. I'm sorry. I don't know where it came from. I never had it myself. So,
yeah.
I think people are becoming disillusioned with that because that lifestyle is not there for everybody. People are realising that now as well, you know. So it's like, you know, it's no hard to say to people, give up that chasing that false nonsense. We get a chance of real discovery here. Life can be much better, you know, with true foundation. So
absolutely. I mean, we know about all the other things that, you know, would be and could be and must be and should be changed, right? You know, whether it's the food supply, the energy supply, the, you know, all the things that make the world, you know, go around and grease it, you know. And we know that, you know, there's a lot of skullduggery and you know, downright deceit, lies, and, you know, betrayal basically of the rest of us, right, by controlling these things. So you know, and that, as far as I'm concerned, that'll all come tumbling down to, you know, because it's the same questions we're asking of them too, just more in a moral sense and not in a natural philosophy or science sense, you know. But it's the whole attitude of questioning is the one that'll, you know, change it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ask me?
Yeah.
That's it.
Great to see it.
Yeah.
Can't wait to hear other people's questions.
Aye.
Every question brings more knowledge, doesn't it? Because answers don't.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And for me, it's happening. You know, you hear the detractors and the people who are trying to dissuade, and you know, but they're trying to, as you say earlier, they're gathering together, trying to come up with ways to combat this happening. But you can't stop this from happening. You know?
Regrouping the troops, but I mean, we what, you know, we juveniles and you know, badly paid people in poor countries, and you know, sorry, it ain't going to work, you know.
No.
Or however they do it, you know, or fanatics as well, and idealists, or you know. But anybody who gets out their comfort zone is going to wake up, yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I mean,
I
I think you hit a button there. You know, it's coming out of your comfort zone, isn't it?
Sure.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but it doesn't mean it's going to get worse. You know, that's the fear porn that they give you. You know, I mean, you know, honestly, it can only get better, right? You know, I mean, how bad can it fucking get? You know, you don't know where you are. You've been lied to all your fucking life. You know, you're a wee slave and a cog in a wee, you know, fucking system. You know, I mean, come on, wake up.
Right. We're living perfect. You can get through it and laugh at it.
I mean, how can you be scared of changing that? You know, I mean, everything's got to be better.
Yeah.
It's preposterous, isn't it? Really.
But again, guys, we have the privilege of coming out the other end unscathed, if you like. You know, to new people coming into it, they just fear being ridiculed.
Yeah, it's just their ego that's going to take a belt, and that's all. But you know, they might as well get it over way quick. You know.
That's it.
But ego is the driver of products.
Well, I'm not necessarily sure about that.
You know,
I know what you mean. I think, but I think we can be just as creative without having to have a product to sell, or.
Oh yeah, I'm talking about the mainstream populace that have not stepped in.
Yeah, okay.
Reality, yeah.
Yeah.
Very difficult.
Yeah, but you know, there's methods and ways. You know that for me, you know, majority of people that I experience, you know, that they know there's something not right and that they're looking for it. You know, the sociopaths and the psychopaths are, you know, they're the minority.
Yeah.
You know, really. It's, you know, I've seen it before, people talking about, you know, going out in the street and their experience of people. The problem that people have is when you do this stuff with people in close proximity to you, especially, you know, like family members who have a preconceived idea of who they think you are. You know, family members sometimes will be guilty of holding you to who they think you are from being a child. They don't see the growth and the change in the person that you are. So, you know, it's difficult to get through to people like that because they're just so quickly to dismiss you. You know, that's an aspect to it. So it's easier when you go out and meet people out with your social circles, you know, because people don't have a preconceived idea of you or any of these notions, so they're more than willing to meet you as a stranger. You've not got that about them, and they'll have dialogue with you easier. So people have problems when they try it with their families and people in close proximity, because, you know, they're just going to be dismissed and laughed at, and that's enough to go, oh, you know, don't do it there.
Yeah.
You know, I'll come to your back door and I can affect yours, and you come here and you may be able to affect me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
People are always more hospitable to strangers. It's just the way it, you know.
It's a natural, good natural sense we have in us to be nice and polite, isn't it? Generally speaking, yeah.
Yeah.
So I agree. If you're speaking to the people down the street, can sometimes be a lot easier, or you know, than a family member. Definitely.
It's that familiarity, holding you to patterns and stuff, you know. So, I think that's a huge point where people find that emotional difficulty, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's why they branch out into these external groups and they come here and they see other people like us, and you know, it's easier to discuss because we don't have all this. We don't know each other really on a personal level, you know. We know each other through this. There's a common thing that we're focused on here, and it's easier. That's how it was easy for me to go on camera. I was always camera shy, and you know, I think myself, I don't want to be the centre of attention. But I felt strongly enough about the subject to force my way past that, you know, because then it's not a focus on me, the person. It's focusing on something that's objective, you know.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Actually, sorry, I was going to say you also raise another interesting point there, Dale. I've also been speaking to people that want to come out and get on video, but they're just not used to looking into a camera and talking. You know, that's actually quite an intimidating thing to do, to sit in a room with no one around you and all you're doing is talking to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, that's far more difficult than you would assume. You know.
Yeah, that's it.
So
it's because of the subjective aspect to it, but when they can grasp it, that's, you know, as I say, that's how it was easy for me, because it's a subject that's not a focus on me as a person or a personality. Although that will play a part in people listening, you know, people take different personalities in different ways, but you know, it's if they can go on camera and just speak that truth, because it's not really about them, and stop fearing ridicule of them as a person, because be empowered to know that if somebody's coming to ridicule the person, they've got nothing. They've got absolutely fuck all, and that should give you that confidence even more. So it's a win-win situation for people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I know how hard that is because I'm one of the people, but feeling strongly enough about it, you know, it forced me through it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that first video I did, I mean, I got how many hours that took me. It was like take after take. Well, not take after take. It was a case of standing, just trying to articulate what you mumbling.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man, I've been there.
God.
It's like you go, you know, I feel so fucking stupid sitting there talking about plastic.
Yeah.
You know, and it takes a while for you to, you know, get over that.
Yeah. It's like sucking on a vinegar dummy, you know, you're like, oh my God, you know.
Yeah. Doesn't taste good all of a sudden. What's it, licking piss off a nettle?
The best method for me is just to be who you are, you know, and just, that's it. Don't try and be somebody or be any kind of personality. You can only be who you are, you know. That's it. That makes it easier.
Yeah. definitely.
People still have trouble with that though, if they're clinging to their old ways, let's say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it all hangs a bit together, doesn't it? Just being open and honest and with yourself is what you need to do to be open and honest to everybody else. Yeah?
That's
And it's
it.
the only way you'll combat any, how should I say, dis-ease with yourself. Yeah, if you're not at ease, you're going to be, I don't know, you're just not going to be well. So,
No.
but once you get past it, as you say, it's a lot cheerier than you might have thought. Especially if you
Yeah,
find some droll Scotsman and you have a laugh about it and all.
Right. we're all lost in the dark, laughing about it. It's only,
Exactly.
what else can you do,
But there's apparently going to be in November in America. Have you heard about this? They're doing a pretty good big event over there about flat Earth. Have you heard?
Sorry, you broke up there, mate.
They're doing a convention in November over in America. Have you heard about this?
So you keep breaking up, Joe. Is it just me that's experiencing that?
No, I'm the same.
Hang
I
on.
can't.
Right. I'm going to turn my camera off because I think that's going to help.
Go.
Yeah. So I was saying, over in America, they're doing a big convention in November, and all the, your Mark Sargent's going to be there, Rob Skiba. Have you guys heard of this?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good thing. That's a very good thing.
I mean, if people want to get together and do what they do, people are free to do that, by all means. If that's, their way of progressing things, then, by all means, they're entitled to that. And, if people want to go and support that, then they're entitled to that as well. It's really none of my concern whatsoever, So,
Again, it's just about getting, Del. That's the point I'm making. It's
if it's progress, then that's
Yeah.
progress. Definitely, man.
Yeah.
People will interpret it and look at it whatever way they want to look at it, But for me, as people are going out there and disproving the globe, then I really can't have an issue with that,
No.
So my issue always lies with people who are pushing falseness or, claims that are not true.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Stick to the facts. That's what I care about. It's just let's stick to the facts.
that's it, mate. And live and let live. People can do what they want. Always said that, people can only set out their camp or be who they are, and represent what they want to represent without the focus on trying to shut others down. That's just not the way it works for me.
No.
It's too far away for me anyway, that one.
Well, yeah.
It's in America, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing a UK
maybe
one
it's
as well
a local one.
at the end of this. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm just saying if there was local ones, it might be more interesting. But otherwise,
Yeah. Apparently.
there's enough videos to watch, so I'm not entirely sure what's going to be new.
I mean, I don't know, but I'm not a good mixer, so some of these things, it's like it goes. It's just for people to be sociable and meet each other and have a chat and a meet up. Fair enough, but I don't know if it's for progress. I'm not sure. I'm not clear on any of that. But
I think
I don't know enough about the agenda to know.
I think it's progress if you get together and everyone is sticking to the same, which is getting the core message out. Okay, as long as you're in there to muddy waters and get into this and that. Let's stick to the core message here. But yes, there is a UK convention happening the end of, I think it's the 29th of this month. And
keep breaking up, Joe.
Bollocks.
29th of Feb is what I heard.
Yes, in Leicestershire.
Where's that?
Leicestershire.
Leicestershire.
It's at the National Science Centre, apparently.
That's it.
Sweet. As again, I support any progress, and I've not got an issue with whatever people do. I can only focus on what I do, and if people want to join in that, then that's fine. You know, I can only walk my walk.
Yeah.
That's it. So as long as I don't care about what's going on, you know, it's at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's about uncovering the lie and exposing that.
Yeah.
And that's it. So, aye, good on people if they want to do that.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Yeah.
I also
So
think everybody needs to make up their own opinion about these things and the people that are involved. So, yeah, I'm
That's
sure
it.
everybody has got their own opinion, and yeah, it's up to everybody to, as you say, walk their own walk as far as that's concerned. Yeah.
Understand the
That won't
psychology.
be going.
No, and understand the psychology of, you know, attacking people's ideas and what they're up to. You know, it's just a nonsense. And people are free to put out what they want to do and do what they want to do, and people are free to follow or no follow or be part of whatever. It's the ones in between who are constantly attacking each party that are the ones who muddy the waters, that cause the problems and the issues, you know.
Again, that was one of the things I really struggled with when I came into all of this. You know, it's like, well, look, guys, you know, what's the important thing here? Why are people fighting with each other?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
it's a shame. It's a huge shame.
That's it. Because people are involved with their egos and their personalities, and they're battling for that and popularity. And to say, it's just some people are just trying to ride the wave. You know, you can see aspects of that. But as I say, I don't have any concern for that, because I'm not any part of any of these groups or anything. You know, as I say, I support anybody who's pushing for truth. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
You know, and as I say, you know, the ones in between who are, you know, making hit pieces continually on different aspects, that's where the problems are lying.
Yeah.
So,
it just serves to put people off. That's
it. It's just bollocks, mate, you know.
Yeah.
For me, it's just so clear to see and boring, you know. But, you know, sort of many people are still caught up in it and give it a place, when really for me there isn't a place for it. It's nonsense.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's irrelevant for me and my journey. So I don't give it any time anymore.
That's it. Yeah. It's not about sides, it's about the objective truth. That's it. People lose focus on what the subject actually is and get caught up in all these other dynamics. You know, and never lose focus and sight of what the actual subject is. You know, that'll keep you right. You can stay focused on that.
Exactly.
And have a look at the other content and the nonsense that's going on, and think to yourself, does it progress? Does it add to it? You know, what was the wee video I put out there, the triple filter test? I think it's an Socratic thing. Use that, look into it, and apply it. You know, it's fucking simple.
Yeah. And I really, I just want to see like a unified, everyone just get together and just find a way to unify and say, look, you know, let's put aside our differences. Let's put aside, let's on getting there, waking people up. Let's find a way of doing that without inner fighting. Let's find, you know.
That's what I've always been saying to people, you know,
Yeah.
You know, say it every time. It's about the objective truth. How do we find out who the manipulators and the players are? By the people who focus continually on personalities and things that are absolutely nothing to do with objective truth. Because objective truth doesn't require personalities. I don't care who you are in your private life, what you get up to. If you represent the truth, that's all I care about.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it. You know, if you want to see where all that's happening and why people aren't getting together, you know, just look at it. You know, they're either stupid. They're stupid. Stupidity only goes so far. You know, some people are really stupid. You know, I will admit. But you know, when it's meant to be people who are portraying themselves to be intellectual and smart and critical thinking, but they continue to play these stupid games, then you know that they're up to something, as far as I'm concerned.
That's right.
And that's it. But at the same time, I don't need to waste my time pointing my finger at them. You know, let's let them be what they are. Fuck them. You know, We'll just keep walking this walk, and if there's enough people who start walking this walk, then these fuckers will need to start playing our game. You know?
Agree, yeah.
Right,
The big
fighting
picture.
stuff, my man.
Come into the cult of truth.
Yeah.
Where we empower each other and talk sense.
Well, that seems to have gone out the window, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Sense, common sense.
Yeah. But these wee parties were there, you know, they were placed there and they play their wee roles and they think that nobody's smart enough to see them or see the game, and you know, it's fucking glaringly obvious now. It's just that,
Yeah.
no, they don't realise that yet. I think the penny's soon to drop. You know?
Yeah.
Sooner the fucking better.
Oh God, yeah.
Getting a thing. This Brenda Von Assen, invite me in, please. I want to talk about the flat Earth. If you get a somebody in the chat called Brenda Von Assen, Marshall.
No.
There's a Brenda Von Assen looking for a link.
Oh, bring her on.
I can't organise that from here unless they want to post yourself in chat, Brenda.
Yeah.
Because we know that's not your name. It's not Jeremy, is it? Is it you, Jeremy?
Is this another one of these clowns that makes the hit pieces? Is this Gem Panda twat?
Yeah, well, he's on a secondary account. He's behaving tonight, so that no problem there.
Right.
Oh well, apparently Brenda's got an endorsement from Jeremy. She is legit, according to Jeremy. So,
all right, cool.
Yeah, well, we'll trust that, Jerry. Again, unless somebody sends me a contact mail, I cannot. I can't link you out. So you can either post it in the box, or you can send it to nocurve@gmx.com. It's your two ways of getting the link.
Fastest way is just shove it in chat.
Yeah. Has anybody else been requesting to come on?
I'll be back in a couple of minutes, guys.
Hey, Buzz. Hey, Gaff.
Not this evening, Doug.
Well, you know, if Brenda Von Assen or whoever it is, post your thing in the chat.
I'm still in the chat room.
What's that, mate?
Brown still in the chat.
Not commenting at the moment.
No.
No.
I'll have a look in the chat just now. I am posting in chat. This is me posting in here. All right, do I just send the link in here then?
Yeah, as long as it's not public, though, yeah.
No, it's
Your JM Truth TV's asking whether you'd be interested in interviewing for his channel. JM Truth, if you want to mail to nocurve@gmx.com, we'll sort out a comms link for you.
that might be one of the comments I seen. There was some in the messages. So as I say, tomorrow I'll probably sit in the afternoon, do a comment response just to be courteous and respond to people, because there's so many comments. To sit and type would just be an impossibility. So I'd rather just a comment response, because I've seen some good comments there that I'm looking forward to having a response to. So
Good day, Brenda.
Good day. How are you?
hello.
Very good.
I am a ball earther. But I understand that I don't know if that's a big problem for you or not. I don't understand why you don't accept the simple fact that the Earth is round.
Is it?
Do you mean spherical,
It's roundish.
roundish?
It's round, mostly. It's not perfectly, absolutely round.
Yeah. Have you actually been
But
out in
most-
outer space and seen it for yourself?
Hang on,
No.
Joe. So Brenda, what's your point then? You here to provide proof for us?
Provide proof?
Well, why are you
Well,
here?
I was wondering what your model of the Earth is.
We don't know.
You don't know?
Yep.
Well, is it flat?
Well, from what I can tell, it's on a level. Yep.
So it is flat. Your model is that it's flat.
Well, it's level in some sort. It's covered in water, so water is level.
So it is flat.
Yeah.
That's what you said. That's your model.
Yeah, but my model is I don't know.
No, that's you just said it was your model.
Look, Brenda, it's clear. I don't know where I am. Right? Water is flat. Water finds its level, right, and it's flat. What the full dimensions are,
water doesn't find its level.
Okay.
Only under the influence of gravity.
All right.
It becomes level. But in the absence of gravity, water is not flat.
So gravity, what is gravity? Can you define it and give me a practical example?
Yeah, gravity is the phenomenon that you observe that when you drop something, it falls to the ground.
Right. So where's the gravity in it? What is the gravity?
That's what it is.
What?
That's what it is. Gravity is the phenomenon that you see when you hold something up and let go and it falls. That's what gravity is. It's a phenomenon.
Right.
That's density and buoyancy.
I don't know what that has to do with anything. Gravity is the phenomenon that you can observe that when you release something, it falls.
Mm.
Right? That's what gravity is. Everybody can observe it. Everybody can observe it.
I just call it something.
Real.
I just call
it what?
Something falling.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's called gravity. That's called gravity.
I don't call when I drop something. I don't go, oops, I gravitated. I say,
no.
But I dropped.
But you observe that things fall, and that's called gravity.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. And when it's not under the influence of gravity, water is not level.
Right.
Right.
What? What?
It isn't.
What?
You're talking about abstracts here. If you get a point to make,
no, it's not abstract. Well, you said water seeks its own level, and that's simply not true. It only seeks its own level when it's under the influence of gravity.
So how water behaves here where we live is what we're saying. This is where we live.
Do you live on the Earth?
Yes, and water behaves on the Earth here like we say it does.
No, it doesn't.
Well, show us.
No, it doesn't.
Show me.
Water when it falls,
Brenda,
is round. When water falls, it's round. Water droplets are round. They're not flat.
What happens when the water collects together?
It's under the influence of gravity.
You're just walking circles and trying to detract and disrupt the conversation here. So if you've got a practical example or something that you want to show us to back up what you're saying, then show us it. But don't start the usual excuse me. You know fine well what this channel is, right? So make your point.
Well, there's a good example. Like for instance, when people go in the airplane, they're called vomit comet. When they go in that airplane, and when it goes under certain conditions, water is not flat. It forms a sphere, a round globe.
Let's see what happens when the plane hits the sea and the water in the plane smashes into the ocean. What happens to it then when it's no?
Well, then it smashes apart. But while it's in the air and while it's in the curve that then it is not level. You said it always. Yes, I am.
Brenda, you're a crap troll, right? You're pathetic, right? You're talking about conditions. We live here on Earth. We're not in a vomit comet. We're on Earth.
Yes.
Well, you can buy a ticket. You could buy a ticket and go on one and see for yourself that if you release some water while you're on that plane, that it will not fall. It will form into a ball.
That's not a
Right?
natural state
Brenda,
that
I
we
can-
live in.
Sure it is.
Brenda, I can blow fucking bubbles for you if you want, man. But that is not going to any fucking proof that the water is somehow curves at the space of a size of a ball. And by the way, I like your little. Well, I actually don't like your wee icon with a ghoul with a little child on its knee in a train doing something. That's a weird icon you've got there, man.
That's from a movie. It's called Spirited Away. It's by a famous Japanese anime artist. It's a famous
Studio Ghibli.
Studio Ghibli. It's a famous movie, and it's a very good scene from that movie. I like a lot.
Yeah.
Brenda, can I ask you for
Yes,
one
really,
very simple
man.
question?
Sure thingy.
Right, okay. Can you provide just one scientific experiment that has proved gravity? Just one. I'm asking for two, just one.
If you hold up an object and release it, it will
No.
fall.
No.
Listen,
That's not a scientific experiment.
Sure it
Joe,
is.
No, hang on a wee minute, Joe, because I'm not going to let Brenda get away for the first point that we're talking about here. What Brenda's now trying to do is what I've tried to explain to people before. They look for a manipulative way to instill an image in your mind. So they'll invoke the vomit comet, where when in free fall, water forms into the round
Yes.
blob, right?
Exactly.
But in reality, we're not in the vomit comet. Reality's no falling, and
But that's reality. The plane exists. It's in free fall. That's reality.
The
Listen,
conditions.
They're saying the plane isn't real?
No,
Excuse
the conditions. The
The
conditions.
conditions are real. It's real.
excuse me. We're talking about representations of reality. Now, Brenda here is displaying the manipulative tactics. They try to give you an image. We're talking about how water behaves on Earth here as we observe it in its natural state, not up in some aeroplane flying through the air, so that Brenda can give you an image to say, look, the water's forming into a sphere, therefore the Earth can be a globe with water stuck to it. It's bollocks. It's not representing the claim that they're trying to
Sure it is. The way you understand things is by submitting them to different conditions and different situations. That is how science is actually done.
Right, okay, so that's how water behaves in the vomit comet, so we've established that. Hey, Brenda, how does water behave in reality? Right, let's establish that now.
Well, the vomit comet is reality. It behaves
Could I interject here, please, Brenda?
It behaves differently under different conditions, right?
We understand that. Okay, we've established that. Okay.
So we have to understand, why does it behave differently under different conditions?
No, we don't. We need to understand how it's behaving here as we observe it in reality, and understand it from that aspect. No, in your conditions. Listen.
Right. Well, we can.
Listen. The questions about objective reality. Okay, nature, the natural world. No, your contrived conditions. Okay, it's how it behaves in its natural state. Right.
That's how you understand things, is by testing them. By testing them.
Right,
could I interject here, Cal, please?
Brenda's had enough time.
I'd just like to ask Brenda whether he thinks that when a plane tips nose down, that it suspends gravity, because I don't think that's the case. Actually, we talked about this several times already. It's controlled falling, dude. It is not a suspension of gravity. Your argument is null, and really, dude, you're just wasting a lot of people's time here.
Free fall is the absence of gravity, because that's what gravity is: acceleration. Right?
You're going to have to look deeper in that if you're genuine, man.
Yeah.
I got one question before Brenda goes, right? Before you kick her out. Okay.
Well, why would you kick out? Don't you want to discover the truth? Aren't you interested in the truth?
But your truth is highly debatable. Just answer me this question.
There's only one truth. There's not my truth and your truth.
Okay. All right. Just answer this question. The Henry Cavendish experiment was supposed to prove gravity, But the problem with that experiment is it's never been replicated in the history of ever. Can you answer that?
Well, number one, it's not intended to prove gravity. What it
Oh,
is
please.
intended is to measure gravity. It's a measurement
give me
of
a
gravity.
break.
It shows that, and it is replicated. And there are different.
No, it's never been replicated. It's never been
it has.
replicated.
Sure, it has.
Where
There are
then? Show me.
different universities. You can look this
Direct
up.
me to a
Just look it up.
documentation. Direct me to a documentation, a scientific doc. I can go myself. Go now and check it.
Well, I'm not familiar with every single thing.
Your reply was to that.
Don't represent it if you're not familiar. When people are asking you for specifics, what is your case then? You've got nothing, right?
Yes, I do. We've got the Cavendish experiment that shows conclusively.
No, it doesn't.
That two massive objects will attract to each other, and it's used to measure the force of gravity to a very high degree.
But it's never been replicated.
I don't know that what you say is true.
No, it is true.
I don't know that.
Well, no, it is. Go and have a look. Have a look.
No, Brenda, you're the one claiming it. Have you tried to replicate it? Or are you going on hearsay?
No, I go by science, not hearsay.
So it's hearsay. You haven't replicated it.
Science is not hearsay. Scientific experiments are not hearsay.
Who is science? Who are you talking about?
It's published science in qualified journals. It's not hearsay.
So it's a book. So it's written in a book. So Brenda's going to be hearsay.
PR.
No, that's how science is done.
Okay, what is it?
It's performed under rigid conditions, and published scientific work is not hearsay.
Man, you're making a complete fool of yourself. You know that.
No, I'm not. You don't think that science is you think science is just hearsay?
Yeah,
No.
is it okay if I blow a few bubbles for you? Wait a minute, just till I get a bit of spit. And would that be proof enough for you that the globe's real?
No, that's just a non sequitur. It doesn't have anything to do with it.
Well, so is your.
That's what you claim. So is your vomit comet.
Oh, Brenda, you
That
can't.
was
direct
your
me to a
opening. That was your
scientific-
opening gambit. So
Yeah. See, it's contradictions again. You know, Brenda's an obvious manipulator that thinks it's clever, but it's really not.
I'm
Sure.
honestly not manipulating you. I'm very honest. I'm very direct. I believe exactly what I'm saying. I am not lying to you. I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm totally honest.
Well,
No,
yeah.
I truly believe you believe that. All we're simply saying here is direct us to scientific, which can.
I'm not buying it, you know. I'll call it for what it is because, you know, we're being honest and we're asking for practical examples. And you're contradicting yourself here, you know, and it's going to be obvious for people to see it. You can play it back. The vomit comet is not a representation of natural world. You know, it's a contrived condition. We're concerned here with the objective world, the natural world, and how we find it.
I posted a link in the side chat here of a high school student's reproducing the Cavendish experiment. The Cavendish experiment can be reproduced by many people, and it has been. Any simple Google search will bring those up. This is high school science.
Right. Okay.
And
Brenda, please. Okay. Unfortunately for you, the chat box is asking for you to be removed. So,
well, aren't you in charge? Why am I being removed?
Because you're being disruptive, you're not progressing any of the discussion, you're coming in with an agenda and you're not talking rationally or reasonably or logically.
I am very logical, and I provided a replication that you asked for. You asked for a replication. I've given it to you.
Well, I will duly watch the video that you've shared with me, okay? And I'll have a look at it, see if I can replicate it myself. But
well, would you consider talking to other people? Would you consider talking to, for instance, like Red's Rhetoric?
anybody's welcome here if they're going to come in and talk logically and with discussion. And you're coming in, you're stating you have a belief and you've got something.
Yes, I'm totally honest with you. This is my belief, and I want to talk about the truth and the facts.
Well, don't expect us when you deny reality, when we want to discuss reality. Don't expect us not to laugh, right? Because anybody who denies reality for me is laughable.
I didn't object to you laughing.
That's fine. That's fine. But
but you didn't really object to reality, because the Vomit Comet experiment is just as real as anything you do on the ground.
Of course it is, but it's not a representation of reality.
Sure it is.
Don't be ridiculous.
Why not? Why isn't it? Why would it not be?
Because that plane is a construct. Look, do we need to get into this nonsense?
But that's how we find out things, is we put things under different conditions and we test them and we see how they behave, and then we form our ideas about what's going on from those experiments. Right. That's how we do science.
So water in the Vomit Comet behaves like that. Okay, we've established that. Yeah, we established that long ago. We established that, right? Yeah. Fine. How does water behave here on Earth?
Yeah,
it behaves here on Earth.
Do you vomit your water?
Because it behaves differently here on Earth because it's under the influence of gravity. On the Vomit Comet, it behaves differently because the conditions are different.
It's still under the effect of gravity.
Not really, because they're in free fall.
Not really. Don't be ridiculous.
No, they're in free fall. So they're not under the influence of gravity because they're in free fall.
Well, what effect are they under? That is resulting in the falling part.
They're in free fall, which is the absence of gravity.
Under, that is causing the effect you call falling.
Well, if you understood relativity, you understand that gravity is acceleration. So in the condition of free fall is in fact the absence of gravity. If you're in an elevator, if you're in an elevator that is accelerating upwards, you would feel a force pushing you to the floor of the elevator, and that force is gravity.
Right, listen,
my God.
See all this complexity, headache, fucking nonsense. Brenda, could you just articulate the point that you want to make and then provide us with practical examples and why you believe it's a globe?
Well,
so it draws into your fucking, your nonsensical discussion. Right?
Okay, well, the point to make is I don't believe the Earth is flat because I can prove that it is not flat. The only other shape it could be would be round. Therefore, I believe the Earth is round, because it cannot be flat. Right?
That's just words, man. You've provided nothing there. You've provided nothing.
I can prove the Earth is not flat simply by observing sunsets. In sunsets, the sun goes below the disk of the Earth. If the Earth was flat, the sun would not go below the surface of the disk.
Sorry, my head's hitting the.
Therefore, it must.
Bye, Brenda. Right, Brenda's now getting into waffle about discs, and the sun's getting under the disc. When clearly nobody here claims any of that fucking nonsense. So I'm not putting up with it. Can't be fucking bothered.
Oh my God. My foot is itching like nuts.
These people just, it's obvious what these people's games are. They're here and they're watching, so they know clearly we don't represent any of these fucking crazy models. I'm not going to listen to them setting up straw men for them to then, come out with a rebuttal to a straw man. Fuck off. Total illogical nonsense. What a waste of fucking time. If anything, it was a good laugh. Brenda.
That's it. That's it.
But you're a shit troll.
Brenda. Is that a man's name, is it?
I don't know.
Difficult to tell, eh?
Well, you're getting thanked in the chat for evicting him, Del.
Was it him? Right. Hard to tell, but
it just grinds my gears every come on, or you speak to these people and you say, provide me scientific documentation. All right. I said, just provide me with one example.
They've not got practical examples. This is why
That's right.
They come up with these fucking nonsensical arguments like vomit comets. You know, don't live in a fucking vomit comet. You know, if you lived in a vomit comet, cool, then that's the way stuff behaves. But you know, living in a fucking vomit comet. But it's the refusal to accept that that's what they're pushing. That it's not representing anything. You know, so you know it's clear, but.
But that's, I mean, that's the same old kind of, you know, I hate to say it, it's the same old trick, you know, where they remove the subject of the inquiry, and the quality of what they're talking about is treated in an abstract sense. And then it's, you know, apparently always okay to go by the inductive principle of theorizing something and then trying to find a counterexample. And as long as you don't find one, your theory's correct, yeah? So, and they can use that, you know, that inductive principle to, you know, spin all these fairy stories, you know, because, you know, as long as if we keep water in the equation, right, and we look at it for 99.99999% of the time, you know, then, you know, you can't just fucking ignore that, right, you know. So, yeah, it's the same ideal bullshit. It's just idealism wrapped in,
But, you know,
fancy words.
And using nonsense to represent their claims, you know, when it doesn't represent the claim. So, yeah, it's bollocks. And, you know, you give them that space and that time again, and they just prove it again. You know, they've got nothing, you know, other than this.
The reason why these fall down straight away is because they make the stupid mistake of making the assumption that people who realized that the world is flat, then make the assumption that we've not done any research. But the reality is we've probably done more research than they.
Yeah. I like to make out that it's just a choice that you choose to be like this, you know. Stating clearly, it's, you know, they talk about science says, you know, in a book, you know, well, we want natural science, we want, you know, measurable, observable, testable, repeatable. You know, all claims that you're making about reality need to meet that criteria. If they're not meeting it, you know, it's fucking bollocks.
And all measures need to be clearly defined. If you're going to measure something, and it needs to be tied to a natural, real fucking substance, and not some, you know, invisible piece of, you know, how should I say, science fiction, that you're not supposed to be able to see, you know. So no, just we've had enough of that, right? We've had 1,000 years of that, or however long it was, you know. And it's got us nowhere, you know.
And again, you know, I'll reiterate it, setting up the straw men, you know, that's part of their fucking, you know, operation. Fling in a straw man, you know, some crazy flat earth map or model, and try and debunk it and get you to represent it. So they just prove it every time.
Same tactics.
Total fallacy. And then, you know, try and have an issue with what's your model. You know, well, we don't know where we are. That's not a model. Well, you can't have that. Well, how? That's the truth.
Exactly.
I'm not going to sit here with beliefs. You know? It's a pizza with a dome. You know?
Pink unicorns on the roof. I saw them myself with my own eyes. I just had to be high enough.
And I know Father Christmas exists because I can track him on the internet.
Proof. That's proof, Joe.
That's proof, mate.
That's what I need. You know. Never mind the natural world. We'll show you on the telly. How do you view the natural world? Fuck the natural world. Watch the telly. That's how it behaves.
And don't even mind if we tell you an absolute opposite to what you see. Don't watch natural reality yet. Just watch this channel.
Trust your senses, but trust them when you're watching the TV.
Stay in your box by watching them.
You need to be in the Cartesian box.
Yeah. I'm going to have a wee look in the chat, guys. Is anybody else asked to come in or anything? I'll show you that.
I've got two people here. Northern One, if you can hear me, I need an address to send you the link. And Hubert Farnsworth, the same thing applies, but you're a zero poster, dude, so we're a little bit guarded about that. You know, how are we going to deal with this? Northern One, please put a mail in for me, or send a mail to nocurve@gmx.com, and I'll respond with the link to get in. All right, done.
Cool.
Yeah, let's see if
Dale,
somebody still comes in. Sorry, man.
No, can I just say, mate, I actually, this isn't just obviously channel, you do what you like, mate. I'm just saying, from my point of view, I mean, having these people, actually, I actually think it's a good thing, because they fall down,
yeah,
they can stand, you know, when they come on and they just make themselves stupid, it actually enforces our point of view.
Yeah.
So, you know, I wouldn't be so overly edgy inviting these people on. I mean, you know, it's...
Oh, man, it just gets boring, mate, you know, when it's been 2 years, honestly, man, it's like...
No, I know.
You know, it is, it's just, your tolerance level fucking is pretty low, you know, and you know,
No, I get that, I get...
It's difficult, man, you know, I try to just laugh, but, you know, it just sometimes just irritates me, and, you know, I get a bit fiery with it, but, you know, I feel as if I've got a right to, if I don't get on for long enough, you know, so...
Oh, I know, yeah.
They know fine, you know, if they're paying attention and they've been here for a few weeks, they know exactly what we're saying, you know, so for them to come in and behave like that, just, you know, I don't need to have any patience for it, it's obvious, you know, they're not up for discussion, so, but
No,
you're,
fair enough.
you know, you're right though, mate, you know, as they've proved before with the sniping and the behaviour before, you know, they displayed that for us, and that was exactly what was required, so.
Yeah.
But
I think we've said what we wanted to say anyway. So I'm game to have a couple of more people coming on, and if it gets too unruly, then I'll just go to my bed.
I'm going to start flagging soon.
Northern One, I've got a problem with your email, dude. It won't send. It's telling me that it's not a correct address. Can you verify that?
But who was it that verified Bren being legit then?
Maybe, you know, it was a message I got through the Google thing, so I just put the link into that. As I say, I'm willing to give anybody a chance, but I'm not interested in the same tactics. It's just boring. You know, when they want to make a point, but then when you put a point back to them, they want to sweep it aside, then jump to another subject, and it just becomes a mishmash of fucking nonsense. You know, we need to be clear and concise on one point at a time and hold it to that point. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
So, but they're not capable of that. So, and as I say, my patience is just low for it.
No, I do understand. You've been at this longer than I have. I'm no one to make any comments, really.
I just think it grates on you after a while, mate. You know, it's funny sometimes. It depends on what kind of mood you're in, but, you know, if they want to come on and display it, fine.
Let's have a laugh. Let's go over to the fun part.
Well, yeah.
Northern One, I've got success on sending you the link, so check your mail.
Hey, Marsha, you still get that little red light blinking all the time. That technique.
Yeah. So it's a modulated low frequency oscillator, dude. It's controlling part of my modular setup.
I thought somebody had to come around and fix the hyperdrive.
Yeah. Touch that, I'll break your fingers, mate. I've got, excuse me a sec, lads. Northern One on Skype. No, you've sent me a Hotmail address. The link has been sent to that Hotmail address. Okay, all should be cool. Just hit the link and you'll be there.
I see in the chat here, am I getting threatened with a gin, Magoon? What's this? Who's setting a gin on me? Oh, fuck. Lord Stephen Christ. This is the guy that curses everybody that doesn't believe in him. You meet some characters on this, I'll tell you.
Oh, God, yeah.
Honestly. Some characters. There'll be movies made about this, hopefully.
Yeah.
The kids will be laughing at it, won't they?
I'll get a few crackers, I can try.
It'll be like cartoons of the future.
Art will be booming, you know.
I tell you what, you're laughing, but what's to say that, like, you know, in 50 years when the reality is reality, you know, people trek back through the internet and they dig out these videos, you know, they'll point at us and they'll go, look, these are the guys that were talking the truth, you know.
Yeah. Well, hopefully no 50 years, mate.
Well,
two at the most.
Aye.
Yes.
Who's what all my patients can take?
And if we can split the load between us, it makes it easier. But two is enough for me.
Aye.
We've got one link out to Scott T at the moment.
Cool. Well, I'm starting to flag, so if you want to come in, they better hurry up.
Yeah, you're going horizontal on it still.
Yeah. I'll have a wee read through the chat, see what's happening.
How many we got in chat?
I'm not sure.
About 200.
Wow. Thanks everyone for stopping by and listening in.
Yeah.
Yeah, same for me. Yeah. Great to see everybody, or hopefully see them all at some point and listen to them as well.
Yeah.
Could I respond to Hubert here? Hubert, we got 2 links out, and we'll be here again next week. The platform is always open. Please do come back if you don't get a chance to have a say this evening.
As I say, I'll probably go on tomorrow just to, you know, respond to people's comments. You know, if somebody wants a chat, then if I get through the comments quick enough, then I'll have a chat as well. But as I say, it's not going to be long tonight because I'm starting to flag a wee bit. Don't know about everybody else, but
that's cool, mate.
Yeah, I think people understand that maybe they left it a bit late this evening to drop in. Well, yeah, I mean, if there's potentially an opportunity tomorrow, that would be cool. But certainly next Saturday. Oh, Scott's here. Hi, Scott.
Oh, hello.
Scott T, muted.
Are you there, Scotty?
Hi, how you doing, lads? I can hear you.
How you doing, mate?
You hear me?
I can hear you, bud. How are you?
Aye, alright, how you doing, Del? How you doing? Just like watching the show there. Just started following you a wee while there, that last person on. I mean, I couldn't help laughing. Going on about the vomit comics, kind of like the real world.
Yeah.
And as your guy was asking, I mean, what's causing the plane to fall? You know what I mean? Apparently, I mean, it was a simple answer that even we'd say gravity, for fuck's sake, supposedly causing the plane to fall. And it was actually a point I was wanting to make, Dale. I think I wrote a comment a few times. See, when you're kind of questioning people on the streets,
Yeah.
See, when you're asking them to kind of saying like what are conforming to like the shape of like an object, you know what I'm talking about. I don't think a lot of them actually understand what you mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that you can kind of see it in their faces. They're kind of, I think they agree with you just half the time. I think you'd be better kind of try to explain to you, like saying something like, do you think if I poured water onto it, like your wee science thing, if you think if I poured water onto a ball, would it stick to it? Like the globe, you know what I mean? So you kind of explaining it like that.
Yeah.
It's just a thing I thought I'd point out. It's just.
That's
I
what I mean. Just different methods. It's all a learning process, you know. But definitely, you know, refining different ways to make the water point. Just by maybe showing them a meme, you know, maybe take a couple of flyer type things out and show, you know, convex water and flat level water, and ask them, you know, what the reality is, and you know, just so they've got a visual reference. I think that's the problem when you're saying it; they don't have a visual reference for what you mean.
They kind of look a bit confused, I think.
That's it. Some of them, but you know, quite a lot of them, they understand what you're saying, you know.
Aye. On you go.
On you go, mate.
Right, let's say I'm actually on Urban, just in the West Coast still. And I've went out and asked a few people. I mean, I'm no shy about telling them about theirs being flat. And everybody that's grew up round about here has seen. I mean, Arran, they've seen the ferry port in the port at Arran. And according to the model, when I've checked the curve calculator and that, it's supposed to be behind about 35 metres of water. See, for your eye height, you're about 6 foot high. Yeah. And I mean, it's the faces. I need to get myself a decent camera. Probably better waiting till the summer and kind of going up and down the beaches a bit here.
That's it.
Asking them that, you know what I mean, and then showing them that they shouldn't be able to see that. It's I think it's kind of a good idea. Kind of got for you. You're doing well, mate. You're really doing well going out in the streets.
That's a good point, mate. You know, if you live somewhere like that, and you've got a view that should be obscured, or you know, there's obviously something missing, then it's a good way to go out with the facts and show them it, and then point it out to them and show them the contradiction. You know, but obviously, you know, you can also point out that the water's no curving away for them without flowing away.
But the good weather would be good to get out on the beaches and, you know, beside large bodies of water and showing quite a few absurdities. You can think of quite a few beach experiments to make, couldn't you?
Well, that's what I'm planning on for the better weather with the scientist guy, you know, and I can do exactly what you were saying there, Scott. You know, show them, you know, can you make the water do this, you know, and then why no? So there's different methods. This is just the method I'm employing just now. So you know, so most of the people are getting it. So it's just a bit of refining, definitely.
Like I say, you've done well, Dale. It's I'm actually surprised you've not got a few more views and subs since the other day when what was it? Eric Dubé kind of showed your video. Yeah. I thought a lot because I think he's hit kind of 100,000 views with showing your video. I thought a few more people would have subbed during that. But at least you're out in the streets, mate. You know what I mean? It's a lot more than most are doing, mate.
I don't care about all that stuff, mate. As I say, it's not a popularity contest for me. It's we just plod on and we do what we do, you know. So that's it.
It's like if you can change, like if you can just show a couple of people and kind of get them thinking, which I think you done. You actually done that with a few of the people that said they were going to go back and maybe question it. I mean, that's kind of what it's about, isn't it? It's kind of getting them to kind of question what they're being told. You know what I mean? Morris can do that. Maybe the world will start being a better place, to be honest.
That's it. Just encouraging people to
Aye.
ask questions, mate. That's it.
So, Scott, how long have you been into the reality of the world we live in?
Oh, just about a couple of years now. Just
Oh,
about,
okay.
well, for it being flat anyway.
Yeah.
I've kind of been awake to kind of all the other shite for
Sure.
nearly 20 years now. I've never really trusted like authorities, governments, just things like that. But as for the flat earth, that's one that's really kind of woke me up when I look back and kind of, you know what I mean? Aye, well, what proof is there? You know what I mean? What fucking proof is there? Apart for the cartoons we get shown.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Well, there is no bigger question in the world right now than the flat plane we live in.
Aye, I'd agree with that. It annoys me when people say, "Oh, well, it doesn't affect me. Look, I've still got to go to my work tomorrow." But it pisses me off if I'm being lied to all the time, whether I've got work the next day or not.
Well, that's the point, isn't it? That is the whole thing. If everyone just stopped, if everyone said, "I'm not going to work tomorrow," what do you think would happen?
Aye, well, that's exactly. I mean, that's what it is. There's the population. It needs everybody to make a big change. It needs a big crowd, obviously. And if everybody decides, well, we're sick of this, that's when something will need to be done. But it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just getting people to focus on the deception and highlight that. That's it. That's purely where we need to get to. So just people need to take the next step. So,
do you have a YouTube channel?
I've only really done a few wee daft videos, just kind of trying to perfect it. Just my name, just my name, Scott T. You know what I mean? Nothing special. You know what I mean? I think we'll get 4 videos or something. No, it's just, let's say I'm still just practicing just now until I get a decent camera where I can maybe go out and start trying making something decent. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, mate, don't try and be professional. All right, just be yourself.
Oh, I know.
Just be yourself.
Aye. Like I say, it's only, can I take just the average person to what Dale's done? Like I say, I think Dale's a great inspiration for a lot of people.
100%.
Just to, especially out in the street, just going about. I mean, it takes a bit of bottle, because it does. It's just to go up. And I mean, he points out the people aren't going to bite you, but it still does just to go out there and on and ask people questions, get them in camera. I mean,
it's easy, man.
Well done, Dale. You know what I mean?
Cheers, mate. I appreciate it, but you know, it's simple. People are willing and open for talking. You know, it's a credit to them, really. As I say, and it's easier when you go and you date with strangers, people away from your own circles, because then there's no preconceived ideas and notions about who they think you are. These complexities that get in the road of that. So, it's good, man. So I look forward to hopefully seeing yourself, Scott, going out and doing a wee bit when the weather gets better.
Yeah.
Aye, I hope I can myself. I'm going to, like I say, I would like to say, I get a decent camera and actually set it up on the beach, ask the questions, kind of show them, actually take my laptop down and show them what we shouldn't be able to see. You know what I mean?
With Troon, you can see all the way along. Is it Largs? I think you can see through there.
Right? Well, where I'm at Irvine Beach, I mean, I can see right down the coast to Ayr and right up to Ardrossan, then right across to Arran and right out to Ailsa Craig and all, which I think I worked out about a third of that is supposed to be behind the the ball, the turf, and no update at all.
I can go up the braes. I can go up the braes here and see the Ailsa Rock as well for this, the Paisley side.
Aye. I mean, I can see it for the beach here, and like I say, it's meant to be a third there. If you were to work it, it's supposed to be hidden, and it clearly isn't. You know what I mean? You can clearly see the bloody lot of the thing. So that's kind of what I'm wanting to do. Go down there. And, like I say, you need to wait. The weather's better to go down the beach of it here. It's not
Nice.
going to be many people walking about either.
Nice one, mate. Well, we'll look forward to seeing that, man.
Definitely.
Aye.
Right, Dale, cheers. That's always what to pop in to say. Anyway, mate, but keep up your good work, Dale. You're doing brilliant, mate. You're actually doing brilliant. You know, there, especially at colleges and unis and shit like that. You know what I mean? That's the kind of people, younger people, you want to get. Because like it shows in that video, they're just. I mean, they just regurgitate. I mean, that's what the exams is. Regurgitate what you get told. It's no critical thought, and you know what I mean.
Yep, that's spot on, man.
That's it. I appreciate it, mate. Cheers for that. Yeah.
Right, no props still. Right, I'm off ski anyway, lads. Right, let's say keep up the good work. Right, lads.
Cheers,
Look after,
Yeah,
look
man.
after yourself, sir.
Right, cheers. See you after.
Well, man.
Right, bye. Bye.
Cheers, bud. So, was that it? Was there anybody else who requested, Marshall?
There's a couple of people requested. One of them's having trouble finding the mail. The other one, JM, your mail has just come in. So, Del, I mean, if you want to stay on for a while, dude, I'll send a link out.
Okay.
All right, JM, dude, the mail's incoming.
Yeah. Right round, baby, right round like a record, baby.
Yeah, you know, other people coming forward. And it'd be good to see, you know, footage of that if we get out and does a wee bit in the bit of weather.
Yeah, brilliant. He seems like a very nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
See you
absolutely.
Head switched on, grounded, you know.
all these detractors and people who try and push that it's not going anywhere and people are not interested, you know.
Yeah, brilliant. He seems like a very nice guy.
Yeah, see you.
Head switched on, grounded, you know.
Hi mate, how you doing? Detractors and people who try and push that it's not going anywhere and people are not interested, you know.
Yeah, brilliant. He seems like a very nice guy.
Turn your YouTube off, JM.
Head switched on, grounded, you know.
Hi mate, how you doing? Detractors and people who try and push that it's not going anywhere and I had to mute you, JM, because you've got YouTube, you're watching on YouTube with the volume, you need to turn the volume down.
What's that?
How you doing?
Good. Can you hear me?
I had to mute you, JM.
Oh, okay.
YouTube, you're watching on YouTube with the volume, you need to turn the volume down.
Oh, I am? Oh, all right, there we go. How's that?
Perfect.
I think that's it.
Excellent. I forgot I had my second feed up.
How are you?
Hey, how are you, man? I'm from the other side of the world. We're from shitty America over here.
Hi. How's it going?
Bloody bastards is what they are. I saw you actually a couple of months ago, and I just fell in love with your videos, man. It's been a trip for me. This whole journey for me to last, well, since 2005, since 2001, I guess, was my real wake-up call from the whole 9/11 bullshit. But in fact, sorry, I'll watch my mouth. Anyway, my thought is, I just went through school and I just have been starting to do these flat Earth videos and talking about water and fluorine and all this other crap that we have to deal with over here. But my thought is that if we, as a group, and I try to do this too, is keep science to science. The problem that we have as flat earthers is so many people think they understand science and they have no clue. They believe gravity because we've been indoctrinated with this. We've been indoctrinated with it. But even science admits it's never been proven. I am flabbergasted at everyone claiming this word that science itself says does not exist. I just don't get it.
It's the problem. It's just trying to point it out to people.
Right.
Uh,
So how do you think we break through to that? Because I just did a whole gravity video where I basically blew off Neil deGrasse Tyson, but I presented the scientific definition for mass and density, where it even talks about that's what's responsible for things falling to the earth. Gravity is a secondary word that we were taught for the whole lie of space and all that other garbage.
Yeah.
But how do we overcome this with these morons, if you will, that want to claim this thing that doesn't exist?
I think it's we can only keep progressing the way we are. I think it's a testament to people coming forward now, and more people showing up. So whatever's going on and whatever people are doing, just keep doing more of the same.
The more examples, the more examples we can give them, the more absurdities and contradictions we can show.
And the more people are repeating that and pumping it out there, the better. That we got.
Yeah, I mean, if you go back down to we don't need to even go to gravity, just go to speed. What is speed? Huh? Speed is, defined as distance over time, which is a length over a duration, right?
Right.
You can't even catch speed. Speed is not a proper thing. It's not a substance, yeah? It's not a proper quantity, yeah? Whereas, distance is, it's length, it's feet, it's inches. I can walk it, yeah? I can touch it. And duration or time is your heartbeat, or whatever you're measuring. But velocity or speed itself is just an idea. It's not a real thing. I mean, it starts already at those definitions. You need to understand the difference. Yeah, it's just an idea being planted in your head.
Oh, so you've actually brought up a good point. Something I've never thought about. I never thought about velocity. Your take is that velocity is
it's just an idea, right?
What are you quantifying it?
Yeah, you're quantifying it with distance over time, right? Length over duration.
Right.
Which are real things, I mean, everybody experiences time, your heartbeats, and everybody experiences distance. You can walk it, yeah? But velocity, you can't really quantify on its own, yeah? You can say somebody's going faster than you or somebody's going slower than you, but you can't say somebody's going twice as fast unless you measure the distance and the time.
Right. That's right.
And velocity is, in that respect, just an idea in your head that's showing the relationship between these two real things. So, I mean, I'm just giving that as an example of where the idea already starts, the theory, yeah?
Yeah.
You don't even need to go to gravity to understand the point I'm making, I hope.
Right. I think it's funny that all of us are willing to sit down, have a discussion, talk about different ideas. We don't all obviously agree on necessarily the shape of the earth and all that stuff. But when it comes to like ball heads, as people call them, or whatever you want to call the round earthers, they want to argue everything.
Yeah.
And I wish we could wake people up and say, look, let us come together. You don't have to agree with me, but we can have a discussion like grown men and women.
Yeah.
Then you can go home and try to prove me wrong.
Yeah,
exactly.
But Brenda, was Brenda a woman or a guy? I couldn't even tell. I thought she was a woman, but maybe not. But I couldn't tell. But I have to laugh at these guys because you may have seen I go nuts when I watch you guys and others, and these people come on and they talk about their nonsense. I go nuts because I'm like trying to give scientific statements. So like science says the law of, in fact, in my video I said the law of mass and density are responsible for an object falling to the ground. Therefore, you cannot use the word gravity because the law of mass and density have already taken that phenomenon and given a meaning to it. So here we have this word that they're trying to marry with a scientific term that already exists.
Yeah, they're equating two things which you can't equate, yeah? And they're defining two different measures to be the same things, yeah? So, yeah, absolutely, man. That's part of the deception as well, or the trick, or the con, or the, I don't know, you can, occulted knowledge, or whatever you want to call it, yeah? But people need to wake up to that, absolutely.
So do you guys think this year, like everyone's talking about, to me, I think we're headed for a long uphill battle, but that's just my opinion, knowing how ingrained people are. But
Prepare for the worst and hope for the best.
so Del, which one is Del? Because I've been trying to figure out who's who.
Sorry, I didn't.
The guy on the end.
I'm
The guy
Del.
on the end.
Gav next to me, Marshall, Joe.
Okay,
I'm Joe.
you're Joe. So you're Del. Beyond?
Me, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay, all right. I think I went onto a site and I said I wanted to interview and talk to him, and somebody had asked me, well, me or Del, and I got confused because it's you guys don't go by your real names, and so unless you guys watch you and get to know you, you don't know who's who. So anyway, I don't want to take up all the time, but I wanted to kind of just pop in and say, hey, I love the fact that you're taking your camera out and you're interviewing people and you're putting it in their face, because pull up is to say, hey, I'm standing right in front of you. What do you see?
That's it.
Because I used to think I saw curve until all of a sudden I looked out my window and realized I was standing in front of the ocean, like most of us, and I went, there really is no curve. And in the back of my head for years, I went, I don't understand how this works. And I didn't understand it until I went to the NASA site and looked up a map and went, wait a minute, this doesn't work. And then I ran into Rob Skiba and you and everyone else, and I went, oh my God. we don't live where we think we live. Where the hell do I live? So anyway, I love you guys. I think you guys are doing awesome. And I look forward to hopefully maybe Del and some of you guys doing an interview and doing more interviews too, because I think those are really big for people outside to see us having conversations and talking about the different ideas. I love the fact that you don't define the flat earth. Like mine is the map back there. I don't know if you can see it or not. But that's, outside of that, outside of the Antarctic, no one knows. We can't even get there. So I'd love to be able to start tearing down some of these walls, but we're gonna have to start tearing down the governments, I think, to get anywhere.
I agree.
First
I
thing,
agree.
first thing is you say waking people up. So if you wake somebody up for their sleep, you need to shake them. Oh.
And I've been telling people, they're afraid of us because we outnumber them 1,000 to 1.
Yeah.
And the government knows this. Your government and all of our governments are actually all in cahoots. I don't know if you believe this or not, but I believe all of our governments are actually in cahoots with one another. Like if Germany and NASA and Russia are doing NASA and we have NASA, all of the NASA and NASA's fake, then it's all fake.
Yeah.
Like there is no actual, it's all just a money Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
So they're all stealing from us the same. In fact, I want to share this with you. In America, they teach us in school that we broke away from the British because we wanted taxation with representation. That's actually a lie. Taxation is thievery. The reason originally we broke away from the King and Queen of England is because we realized it was thievery. Then through indoctrination, they taught us, well, we broke away because of taxation for representation. That gave them the legal right to reestablish the government we have now, which is the same thing as what every other nation has by a different name. A president is just a king by a different name.
Yep, it's all just an illusion of the mind for us. Yep, just a theatre, a globe theatre. Yep.
Yeah.
Rulers, you define your rulers, yeah, and your measures and your So that's what you rule by. Yeah.
Hey, Dale, you said, did I hear you correctly? In one of your interviews, I think you said you were an artist. What's the word? When you don't want a government.
Anarchist.
Anarchist. Is that because I used to think that was a bad thing, but now I've come to the conclusion was, why can't we govern ourselves?
Exactly, and and no hierarchy. It's just about not having a hierarchy and imposing on each other. It's no a hard thing for me. It's easy for me to live my life like that. So if that's what I am, then that's what I am. People can live.
That's so funny you say that, because I was so, at one point I was a soldier, I was a combat medic, and then, like I said, 9/11 kind of woke me up. But I've kind of come to the conclusion where, like now, Del, if you needed something from me, come ask. I'll give you what I have. Why we should be able to live that way.
Yeah.
With one another.
That's it.
We should be able to help one another without the control of government. Anyway, I don't want to get off on politics, but
well, no, it's important because it's all tied in. It's all tied into the whole control system. That's what government is.
right. Well, it's ultimately a form of mind control.
Yes.
So the problem is going to be waking people up.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely. I appreciate all your input though, because it's very similar to what we've all experienced, yeah. And I didn't know that about the American thing. That was very informative, man.
what's that? Which one?
The one you said about the redefinition of the
Taxes?
yeah, the taxes, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's something I dove into because it just rang in the back of my head. I kept thinking back to the Revolutionary War and the Tea Party, and going back there and thinking, wait a minute, something doesn't jive here, because if they were against taxation for representation, we have that now, and we still have them stealing money.
Yep.
So when I started to look into it, I realized it wasn't for taxation because of no representation. Taxation is thievery, regardless of why you have it. You're paying government. They're taking that money and doing whatever the hell they want with it. So that whole idea of us breaking away from England because of the taxation, because of no representation, is all a lie. It was all to propagate a war in order to get us to be able to sever from them or give the illusion of separation, but to establish what we in our minds thought was a free country.
Yeah.
But it's no more than a slave state.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And what interested me was just the way you talked about it being a representative, yeah, which is the difference in philosophy between a direct realist and somebody who thinks that he only has a representative of the reality, that he only sees by his certain perceptions, And it's the same old trick, they've got us chasing sense data that doesn't exist, yeah, because we actually have a direct reality in a lot of things, yeah. And,
right.
It's just nice the way they play with the same words, using the same tricks, so across the board,
Yeah, it's funny. We were taught that communism is bad, but the more I look into communism, assuming you have what's called a righteous ruler or somebody who actually cares about the people, communism is actually a pure form of government where everyone shares.
Yeah.
It's actually along the same lines almost of anarchy in the sense but you still have a ruler. The problem is that all of your rulers eventually become selfish. And so they all want something. But the idea of communism is that we share with one another. So if you need something, come and you come to me, I have it to give to you, or I have it to share with you, I'd share it with you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Logically as well, it makes sense, everything should be based on resources and shared equally. And it's not hard, is it? But
it's funny because it's been hard for hundreds of years. Now our generation is starting to realize that that's the best way to live with one another.
The biggest trick governments pull over the populace is the illusion of choice.
Of choice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Illusion of choice.
Right.
So that goes with who you vote for, what products you buy. You think you're making a choice.
Right.
But you're not.
Right.
Well, democracy is tyranny in disguise.
Well, I mean, religion is just government by another name. It's just like everyone sees my silly hat and they know I walk by a different faith, but everyone wants to call me Jew or call me this or call me that. I'm like, look, I've given up all religion to follow my Creator, and that's between me and my Creator. But everyone wants to put us in these boxes. You know what I'm saying? Or my job is to love the ones that are around me.
Yeah.
That's my job. And regardless of what somebody else believes, my job isn't to push my belief on them. My job is to say, look, the truth is that we're to love one another, whatever that looks like.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
we've been conditioned and taught to think of ourselves and not to think of our fellow neighbors and human beings.
Right. Well, I wonder what would happen if, because I've often wondered, in Scripture it says that they will throw their swords down and turn their swords into pruning hooks. I've often wondered what would happen if, not that we'd ever be able to get everybody all on the same page, but it would be awesome if all of the cannon fodder, meaning all of the soldiers, would one day just say, we're not going to do this anymore. We're laying down our arms, and we've decided we're not even going to live under government. You can kill us if you want to, but we're going to live at peace. Yeah. They can't kill all of us. You know what I mean? Like, I don't mean that to sound like a violent, but I'm saying if they could do nothing, if we would all just lay down our arms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the example that, if I think of a herd of sheep, and one man and his dog, and
Right.
if all of a sudden all the sheep just decided to go in different directions, then it would all be over, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But the thing is, two sheep need to understand that the man and the dog are working together, and not only that, but the sheep are policing themselves, Dad, get back here,
Yeah.
get back here, don't be doing that, So
Well, and really, what is
a
a shepherd?
mentality, isn't it?
What's that?
It's a
Sorry.
mentality. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, what is a shepherd really is not a ruler. He's to help guide.
Yep,
He guides the sheep is all he does.
I agree.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I'd love to have an opportunity sometime to interview any of you guys, but Dale, I watch you more than anyone else, so.
No problem. I take it you messaged me. Was that you were one of the messages?
What's that?
Did you message me in private?
Yeah.
Yeah, as I say, I'll get to respond to them tomorrow, so I'll give you a message back, mate.
Yeah, when you get around to it. I know everyone's busy. We've been right now we live in Texas, but it looks like we're meant to go to Montana. So we moved all the way down to Texas from Washington, and now we're going back to Montana. So
Upheaval.
it's crazy how that works. What?
Some upheaval then. I'll message you, and you can hook up with me just whenever suits, mate.
Okay. Yeah, you're great. Thanks, guys. You're doing awesome work. Keep it up, and don't let these Brendas come in here and kick up a storm. You know what I mean? Keep them to science, man. Real science. 'Cause
Exactly.
with that, they've got nothing to stand on.
No.
I wanted to reach out and bitch slap her because I was like, "Are you kidding? You're using the zero gravity plane to make your argument, but zero gravity plane isn't flying on a flat, and it's manipulating the energy. So you're already coming from a twisted standpoint.
That's it.
Yeah, it's not real conditions.
No. And then she made the argument of gravity and then argued against gravity. I'm like, woman, you're nuts. like the whole reason it's falling is because you said there's gravity. I just laughing my ass off.
Yeah, we were in elevators going up and down and everything, weren't we?
Yeah.
It's sophism. It's a word they like to use, and that's exactly what it is they're using.
Yeah. Well, and science has been so twisted by, I call pseudoscientists, like Neil deGrasse Tyson and your Bill Nye, the science guy.
Yeah.
These guys are all just actors. I get so mad because I'm like, they've probably never done one day of science in their life. They tout Neil deGrasse Tyson as being this genius. Dude, he is not a genius. He's not. I'm not going to get me started. He's not. He's a moron. If you ever sit and listen to him talk, he's like, well, my book's right, not because I said it is, but because it's right.
That's right.
Did I miss something?
Yeah.
Like, dude.
And I'm going to drop a microphone to prove gravity.
Yeah.
How
Drop a fucking
patronizing.
hammer
How
on his head.
patronizing.
Beat him to death with a bag of feathers.
Right? I tell people now, hey, go look up the definition of the law of mass and density. Once you do that, you don't come back in my chat room and talk to me about gravity unless it's a different force than what's described in the massive law of density. Because you can't have two two forces called by the same thing.
Yeah. Well, 1 gram would be defined as 1 centimeter cube of water, as
Yeah.
far as I understand. So let's start with that again. Yeah.
Right.
We've got a newcomer. Hello.
You must be muted. Can't hear you.
Guys, it was fun. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Take
chap.
care, JM.
Cheers, man.
Dale, this is Rosa, but I think perhaps she said her phone may be slow. So unfortunately, Rosa, if your connection won't make it, then perhaps it's better to call in tomorrow or next Saturday, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, shame.
Or
know?
just talk
We
with
can't-
with the video.
She there?
Yeah. Get rid of the video, Rosa, and maybe your speech will clear up.
Can't hear anything.
Are you muted, Rosa? No.
No, there's no sound.
Yeah, do what Teen said and take away the video and just have the voice.
And then say something.
No, drop down.
Guys, I think I'm going to knock it on the head.
Yeah.
As always, it's been wonderful, Del. Thanks for inviting me. You as well, man. Joe,
Yeah,
Teen, Marshall.
absolutely, mate.
Nice one, Gav.
See you all.
Cheers, buddy.
Yeah, maybe speak tomorrow or whatever. Yeah.
I catch up with you, mate.
See you,
Yeah.
bye.
Nice one, mate. Bye.
Take it easy, mate. Sorry about that. Sorry, what was the name? Northern Rosa. Is that right?
Yeah, Northern One, Rosa. Yeah. If you're still there, Rosa, we'll be back, man. Come again when maybe your connection will be better, eh?
Yeah, as I say, I'll be live tomorrow at some point just to do a live comment response. It's just easier than having to type to so many messages.
Yeah.
So, you know, feel free to join then. I'm flagging now anyway, so
All right.
I'm gonna turn in just shortly. And Joe,
Sure.
appreciate you coming on.
No, thanks for having me, man.
No problems, mate. Anytime.
Take care of yourself.
Take it easy, bud.
Nice one, Joe. Good night.
And you, Marshall. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, man.
Oh, Teen, sorry.
Right, bud.
Take care.
Cheers, man. Cheers to everybody in chat. Sorry, I've not had a chance to look through anything here. There's so much going on that, you know, I'm not going to start reading it because it'll not be fair if I don't read everybody's. But I, Rosa, Northern One, welcome the next time. I don't know what went on with your mic. We couldn't hear anything. So, Marshall, cheers again, mate, for the night. Magumba in chat.
Nice one, Dom.
And everybody else who was here. Ali as well. Hi people, cheers. I'm not going to spend time in chat, I'm too tired now. So I'll be here tomorrow. Peace.
Thanks a lot, people.